Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Oh, I'm
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, friends.
Cinder, you are muted. Yes, you are. I can't hear you.
Still muted.
Everyone else is good?
Yeah, how we doing, friends? I was going to say folks, but then I said friends. This is a great start to the episode.
Do you hear me now? Professionals.
Yes, yeah, you're good now.
It's not even a leftist audio issue.
Yep. That's weird. Okay, something's going on. All right, because I don't know what I did.
How we doing, friends?
Good.
I guess I could start by saying I'm very sorry for your loss, David.
What, this loss?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you just scared me. I thought that somebody had died in David's family or something.
Someone
oh my
did
God.
die. My hopes and dreams died.
in the hearts of everyone from Toronto. Yeah, like I honestly I thought you were going to go to the distance. I was pretty surprised.
This happens every year. The Leafs haven't won since 1967, so every year we are crushed. This is just how it goes. So we're used to it. It's fine.
See, all
Leafs fans are broken inside, so this is how it is.
I'll never feel the loss because I don't follow anything like that. So
you don't follow any sports? None?
None, no.
This is like for me when Sami Zayn didn't beat Roman Reigns at the pay-per-view in February for the title. When they were
but that's all decided behind the scenes.
They were in Sami Zayn's hometown in Canada. A fellow Canadian lost. That's right. There you go for you guys. Sami Zayn. All right. But that's the equivalent from there.
I have not followed wrestling closely since the Attitude Era. I don't know. I think I stopped watching right before John Cena came in. So I that everything passed with John Cena. I just don't. No idea. No idea.
All right, that's fine.
Until you said John Cena, I didn't know we were talking about wrestling.
Who did you think Sami Zayn was?
I don't follow wrestling at all. Yeah.
But who did you think? What were you thinking though?
When you said for the title, I originally thought UFC or something like that. Like a fight.
No. I'm not a big UFC guy.
Huh.
What y'all talking about?
Right.
I do have things.
I mean, it's all the same company now, actually.
Oh,
it's all the same company now.
Someone in the chat said they wonder if Olay got to see the Olay emote, like an emoji. Hold on, what? I haven't seen whatever you're talking about. What is it?
Hold on. Let me see if I could. So I got So one of my listeners made a bunch of emotes for me, and I'm so glad they brought it up because I almost forgot. And I gotta still upload them to because I'm really bad about that. For Twitch. And I guess for YouTube too, they do emotes. And one of the emotes is this cool emote for me. Do you guys see that?
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Like you.
But one emote they sent me is actually for you, Olay, and I got to get it to you. Here you go.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute. Oh, is it? Do I have my own little Dragon Ball? What's going on?
Yeah, you got a Dragon Ball there, isn't that?
That's really cute.
That's very cute. Oh, I like her.
See, aren't my viewers the best?
Yes.
I'm more impressed about how are you putting that stuff on screen? I want to be able to do that.
I know.
I'm using my my usual live stream software as a virtual camera. So I can just So anything I pull layers. Onto anything that I pull onto that screen, you can see in my camera.
Oh, that's cool.
Smart.
Well, I can preview some ideas or some things that we may be talking about this week, since I actually prepped some stuff this week.
You did homework. I
did.
Assignment.
Elon Musk spreads another lie.
Oh,
Ben Shapiro doesn't like women in swimsuits. Elon Musk gets questioned on his dumb tweets by CNBC. Ron DeSantis legalizing kidnapping of trans kids. Racist Marjorie Taylor Greene in her fight with Jamal Bowman. There we go. There's a few things that we may be talking about this week, and there's also Dianne Feinstein and that whole thing. There's a lot.
Oh God, yeah.
Let's start with we talked about the Ben Shapiro one on the Majority Report earlier, so it's a fun one. So let's start with that, so we can start off on a good, happy, funny note. Yeah, and then we'll go down the
I was wondering as well. I saw this clip. I was wondering if there's more to it, because I assume, and so I'll set it up, because there is it's based on, I guess what sparked it is let me bring this up, is the new cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yes,
Martha Stewart.
Well, there's multiple.
Fabulous at 81.
Here it is. So Martha Stewart. There you go. 81 years old.
She looks incredible.
Looks amazing.
Yeah.
So
that's what a few months in jail will do to you.
Really hardens you up. So Ben Shapiro is in this clip. He doesn't. I don't think he mentions
don't
her.
tell me he has something to say, but
he's got something to say.
I've covered this one.
But it might not be what you expect, because it's just so like
really funny.
It's so
really
weird.
Funny.
Okay,
you're gonna love this.
Let me turn the volume. Make sure the volume on my end's going to be loud enough here.
It's also Sports Illustrated. So Sports Illustrated, years ago, I used to be, like, for years and years and years, I was a Sports Illustrated devotee. I think that I got my Sports Illustrated subscription when I was like 13, 14 years old, and I had it for probably 20 years.
Yeah, but wait.
It was like my kind of Saturday afternoon enjoyment was reading the sports articles in Sports Illustrated, obviously.
Oh, sure.
One of 5 people in America who actually called up Sports Illustrated and said, "Don't send me the swimsuit edition. I would instead prefer to receive like a regular extra."
Oh my God.
Can we just wait? Just gotta digest that part first. Just
yeah. Well, I think that's the
13 years old, really into sports.
The lady doth protest too much. I mean, he makes sure to mention that he loved his Saturday afternoons reading the sports articles, making sure to say that. And then he's got to follow it up with, "Oh, you know that swimsuit issue? I called them up and told them, send me more articles instead."
No sports, please. Just sports. I mean, just sports for me. No pretty women.
And the real sports fans, they love talking about all the sports articles they read. Not basketball, not football, not the specific sport. Just, I love reading sports.
I love sport. Go sports. It's so disingenuous. It's like, it reminds me of him buying a plank of wood from Home Depot. Like, he's standing outside with the plank of wood. Like, it's so performative. Like,
what, you've never done that, David? You've never validated your masculinity by buying wood at the Home
and then
Depot?
putting it in a small plastic bag and carrying it outside. Yep. No, I haven't done that.
You can do that with Sports Illustrated. Okay, but the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition was obviously tailored at dudes, right? I mean, it was obviously beautiful women in bodypaint. And it was pretending to be sports, right? That's what it was. I had ideological objections to it because, again, I'm not big into the objectification of women. I'm actually not a huge fan of women in bathing suits pandering for the male.
It's almost over. Like, there's probably more to this, but I haven't seen the rest of this clip. But yeah, this is basically the extent of it. I'm just amazed that, like, not amazed, but why is he pretending to care so much about this when he didn't even care about the swimsuit issues? So, like, he's bothered by Martha Stewart apparently being on the cover, but he was never even into them. Like, it's just, again, it's just for clicks. This is what this is about. It's so clownish. There's 3 seconds here. I'm not even sure what's worth.
Okay, so I'm actually not a huge fan of that because, again, I'm a religious conservative. It is also
There you go. That's the extent of it.
Even if he did, like, if he literally called them and was like, "Excuse me, can you please stop sending me the swimsuit issues?" Why would you admit that?
He did not do that shit.
I actually looked it up.
Sermon. He said, let's be honest, it was marketed towards dudes and pretending to be sports. Okay, so you know, like, you just told me you had a subscription for 20 years, bro.
I actually looked it up, and apparently you could do that. You could opt out of the swimsuit edition if you were subscribed.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, I mean, his whole thing, this whole premise of him saying how he didn't look at it is obviously, and we don't have it obviously, but I'm going to assume, and I don't think it's a wild assumption, is his way of criticizing Martha Stewart being on the cover, because that magazine should be for men to look at, like, you know, hot 20-year-old.
Yeah.
But listen,
Not me.
pull that Martha Stewart cover back up, because she's looking good.
She is. Why am I?
Okay, what's your opinion?
Thoughts, Mike?
Right, that's what I said. I said
thoughts, Mike. What are your thoughts on this, Mike?
That's exactly what I said. I said,
I didn't know you could do
give me
that.
a second. I said, Dave, give me a second with Martha Stewart and Mike Figueredo, and I'll get a tissue.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
it
God.
Great. Yeah, I don't like. It's the who even honestly buys magazines anymore. Like, I don't want to be rude to anyone that works on a magazine. It was a great industry once, but like, it's not. This is not something that is all that culturally important anymore. It seems very, very bizarre to me to be so obsessed with like magazines and what they're doing.
If you didn't see the second part of that, he goes off about a Sports Illustrated cover that has a trans model, a trans woman on the cover, and does almost like, you know, beat for beat the same thing, where it's, you know, still him being like, you know, this is supposed to be for men. Who does this appeal to? Blah, blah, blah. And like, if you see the cover photo, it's like the pretzels that these people are twisting themselves into to try and
the Kim
continuously.
Petras one?
Yeah, like to sit there and
I
be
saw
like,
Tim Pool talk about that one.
I gotta tell you, she's looking good on that cover too.
She looks incredible.
To answer Tim Pool's question, does being into that make you gay? If it does, man, I'm the biggest homo now there.
I don't know what y'all are talking about anymore, and Bender concerns me, but I know that
Here, let me show you.
my train of thought went, you know, when you ever something make you think of something unrelated, but y'all showed Martha Stewart, and then I processed Martha Stewart as being old as fuck on this cover, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna die one day, and then I was like, and then like suddenly I was there, and then I was having a full crisis.
Oh my God!
Introspection.
Like, oh my God.
That's what happens when you smoke so much weed before the show. That's the paranoia setting in. This is the other one. Like, what's the problem here?
Yeah, she looks
She looks
amazing.
good. She looks great.
Looks fantastic.
Tim Pool had the audacity to post this photo and talk about how like this appeals to like homosexuals who want to be fooled by neo vaginas and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Did you say neo vaginas?
Mike,
You know what you said? Neo vaginas.
If he didn't, he should have said that.
Neo
That's clear.
vaginas
No, he said neo vaginas. He said
no, for real.
That's actually
take that.
I love neo vaginas, if I'm being honest.
Nuts. That's way better than regular pussy. I know for sure.
I actually saw a conservative trans woman arguing with him because she preferred him using the neo vagina term over the other horrible things he calls
insulting terms that he uses.
Yeah. So like that's actually the preferable term for the conservative trans
neo
woman.
vagina goes hard.
Oh my.
It honestly does. I just love that he like coined this term and he doesn't realize how based and amazing it sounds. Like it just makes it sound cool. Like
I don't know if he coined it. I want to be.
Oh,
by the way,
okay.
our guest is here, so should I add him in?
Yeah, let's bring him in. Hey,
check. Can you hear me?
Hey, we can hear you. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, y'all? How are you? How are you guys?
Doing well.
Awesome.
Folks, if you don't know, this is Zed Tabani of Freestyle the News. If you haven't heard of him, you will very soon because his content is absolutely fucking amazing.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate that, dude. I did that shit for like 2 years with 0 people watching, and then all of a sudden people like it, so it's kind of crazy to me.
It's so good. I wanted to watch one of your videos. I have the link here. I'll actually share that because if you don't know, basically what Zed does is what we do, except he turns the news into music, and it's not just really like some quick put together. Like it's a fucking banger. Like every time I watch this video, it's stuck in my head every single week. So let me cue it up.
Wait, quick, freestyle being on Leftist Mafia right now. Go, do it.
Don't let them do that to you. Do not make them make you shook and jive. Don't let these white men make you shook and jive.
I charge for that now, bro.
Oh, let me pause it. Hang on. 1 sec. Okay, let me share.
Solidarity with the writer's strike. I can't do that right now.
Nice.
Okay.
And by the way, all this
show is actually covered by the News Guild, so you're free to.
Oh, I'm good. It's by the News Guild. That's perfect.
Okay, I might have to give it to David.
Binder, want me to add it? I can add it.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
For the longest time, I saw you on Twitter. I was like, Matt Binder. I'm like, God damn, that motherfucker sounds smart. Matt Binder.
You can call me anything if that's the following thing you're gonna say after my name. Yeah.
All right, folks. So this is the latest video from Zed. Hopefully that works.
The news. 33-year-old man with an AR-style rifle. The images of people running for their lives. Violence in America, the numbers are simply staggering.
America snuff film. Stick around, you can probably make the playbill. Everybody get apart, you can lay still. Everybody get famous when they get killed. They don't give a fuck. Buy you a machine gun, everybody duck. Follow the procedures. We got more bullets and services you can stream from. Ban a couple track shows in the name of Jesus. Whoa, whoa. Switch on my platform, Tucker on Twitter. Fox had him canceled. You think it's big, I think it's handled. Go ask O'Reilly and Kelly for samples. What's one more asshole to put on my mantle? Tim in the surfs, look at this graph though. 3 versus 1, what's with the ambush? Fuck up your angles, who the fuck called y'all bright? Hollywood looking here, then all out strike. Fran been telling me it's a different fight. You support that line, but like Sag's alright. What the fuck that mean? Feeling kinda fake like an old ass king. Monarchy, most of you didn't want that thing. Looking like a birthday kid at the BJ's when the restaurant sing. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Okay, mask off. Red coats turn to bad cops. Evidence turn to psyops. Platforms turn to dog shit. Mr. Beast turn to deaf kids. Backlash where his staff live. Who the fuck greenlit this shit? Fuck up a brand. So out of touch, I thought it was Diane. More conspiracies than Taylor Swift fans. Crispy like, now we all know all the stakes. What a great fucking plan. 2016 called. Watch him crash like that car trying to speed off. Getting shit like you friends with Selena. Twitter got a new CEO, Elon. Yeah. Pakistan riots as soon as they cuff Khan. I just bought a Hyundai, it's basically just gone. Rihanna got a Wu-Tang name and a newborn, while the cuss finally caught up with George. What's up, bro?
Want people to remember how they feel watching these images of the United States Capitol being taken over.
Thank you, man.
Because there's going
I try to do beat switches every so often.
Pretend this didn't happen.
Tonight, CNN gave former President Donald Trump a live town hall forum, and he once again claimed the election was rigged.
Mic check, let's go. Yeah, the most useless motherfuckers got a lot of opinions. They've been making predictions. I've been fucking keeping my distance. I've been watching the polling since it was hitting the second term looking Midland. But then again, I was switching on Tears of the Kingdom, and look at me now. Fuck with my Guardians, the money up. De Niro having kids in his 70s like a chaplain run.
I didn't know that.
Unless the neighbor here, you can grab the gun. Playing tag with shots in America, and they call it fun. Fucking with my music, no computer replace me. You gotta embrace me like you snuck in my room and my feet looking tasty. This bitch looking pasty, man, crank up the AC. I'm hot as fuck. Why every pundit looks like a baby who needs some shave cream? The fuck a couple weeks off. Titles be expiring. The border close to free fall. Peloton bikes are getting recalled. Now where you gonna put your laundry when your Alex's eyes eventually see gone? Sees every moment like I'm Lonnie Walker. George finished writing his musical. Les Miserables. Fuck out of here. I'm honest like 1,000,001. I'm here to keep the shit together unlike some 41. Ooh.
Too soon.
In too deep. I guess so.
Bro, I'm glad you guys like that, man. Means a lot, dude.
God,
It's so good.
That goes crazy.
That was awesome.
That was good.
That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that, guys.
Can you please tell, how do you even begin to, like, where do you even start? Because you're covering a lot of news and you're turning it into a song. You're right. Like, the process has got to be, like, incredible. And you do one video per week.
Yeah, right now we're talking about doing more than one, probably. Because, like, so this week I tested out doing I'm probably gonna do it to like my Patreon to kind of thing or whatever. But like I did one on the Activision like them doing the Overwatch 2 thing. I did one story, but I'm gonna try to do maybe one on a daily story or two soon. But no, pretty much the process is this is like I start on Saturday pretty much, and I just start like kind of listing like news articles that I see, and I kind of arrange it by like headline news article, entertainment, politics, world, and then weird and random shit. And so, because the whole conceit of the piece is like it's got to feel like the week you just had. And if it's too much politics or too much entertainment, people will tune out. But if it's like a little bit of everything, you're like, oh God, wow, this so much happened, right? So like every so often I have to like kind of go through and like see, okay, under the entertainment section, this was relevant. I have to pull from that. But what I started doing is I have a headline section where it's like the biggest stories of the week kind of go in that section. And it's like, you know, I mean, like for this week, sorry, I'm gonna grab my phone and I'll tell you what I have listed for this week. For this week, for headlines, the first one was like Jamie Foxx and being like called dead, but then he was actually alive. Travis Scott is mad at Timothée Chalamet for dating Kylie Jenner, but then also other stuff like the Supreme Court siding with Section 230. Feinstein being frailer than ever, but being unwilling to give up like her seat. MGT introducing articles of impeachment. So like I'll start collecting stuff on Saturday. Sunday or Monday, I will kind of have an idea of where the week's kind of going, like what it kind of feels like already. And then I'll pick a beat. Like, and the decision is I'll pick usually 2 beats because Tuesday the whole week may change. But I want to kind of get a vibe of, okay, this is going to be the overall kind of feeling for this week. And I'll start writing like a couple lines. And then on Tuesday, I'll have more of a clearer picture and I'll just write a ton. I'll write like 16 to 32 bars. Wednesday, I'll write like the bulk of it, the behemoth of it. And then Thursday, I'll finish it off. After I'm done with this, I have to record it, do my filming of everything, and then mix it, record it, do the filming of everything, do the editing of my part, and then I send it off to my editor, and he adds in like the graphics and everything like that. But then I give him assets of what to do with the graphics. Then tomorrow we'll be editing most of it, and then it'll be ready for Sunday by the end of the day.
That's incredible, because it's not just that you are providing people with a genuinely informative video, but the beat, the music, the rhymes are fucking catchy and good. Dude, so it's so astonishing to be able to do all of that. I love it. I'm a huge fan.
Dude, it means a ton, dude. And I'm a fan of yours. I knew about the Swifts quite a bit. Like Lance, I didn't tell you, but Lance interviewed me earlier this week. But we have a mutual Megaran, who I've worked with a lot, and he was telling me nice things about you, Lance. Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, tell him he's fucking based awesome. And
of course, we're doing a show. We're doing a show together on Saturday. That's kind of like the thing. We're doing a live show on Saturday, for like my subscribers or whatever. But yeah, I went to school for, I mean, I've been rapping like a long time, and I went to school for, I was the second person in history to get into Berklee College of Music for rap. And like,
that's very dope. That's very dope.
That's incredible.
That's dope.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah. So like I had that, and then I'd done a bunch of stuff for video games and stuff. And like for a while, like I was known for as like the rapper for like Street Fighter and like video games and shit like that. And it took a while because I have a very close, I mean, I'm brown, man. Like I grew up in Irvine, and like I dealt with like post 9/11 shit like my whole life, and it's been just a huge part of my life. And I didn't know how to, I would put politics in my music, but it was hard to kind of bridge that gap. And I started doing this a couple years ago, and I needed weekly content because I'm like, I can talk about the news and what's going on because it's relevant. Best rappers of all time had stuff that felt like it was so fresh and so there. So why the fuck don't I do that? It's like a good way to like kind of improve my songwriting and everything like that. And that was when I had a 9-to-5 job, and it was really, really hard. And then I did one of these. I took a break for a year, and then I was like, let me try it on TikTok. I know TikTok really well. I've worked for a bunch of companies doing TikToks. Why not? And I did it, and it blew up. And then Philip DeFranco saw it and tried it out on his channel, and it worked. And that's been my full-time job since I think November. So
that's so cool. Yeah, it's weird because I was watching you. I saw basically I'm pretty sure every single one of your videos. And then on one week in particular, I see an Ole tweet in the news. And I'm like, you guys, Olay made it into freestyle the news. So that's how like, oh my God.
I didn't even know about that until this week when Lance sent me your video because he was in it. And I was like, what is this? And Lance was like, watch it. He's like, you've been in it too. And I'm like, find me the video about myself, Lance. That's what
Bro, Lance told me he reacted to it. And I was just like, oh, like, that's awesome, man. I can't wait to watch the VOD. It's like, well, I'll find it for you. I'm like, great, because that was what I was going to skip to. Because I need to see that little
exactly.
I need that validation.
Exactly.
It's a needle in a haystack.
I'm an artist, bro. Like I need that all the time.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but definitely, like I'm number one. Thank you for that tweet because it was great to write about it. But number two, yeah, man, like I feel like a big thing about the way I told Lance this as well, like when I was on the show, like a big thing about the way I approach it is like I was a huge like Daily Show fan growing up, and a big part of the way they approached that was like the absurdity of the news cycle, and I think that's still there sometimes, but like we've switched from like a 24-hour news cycle to like Twitter and everything like that. And I think there's just plenty more of the clown show to go around. Obviously I'm like left leaning and then a more left perspective. That's why I'm here. But like, I just think that like, yeah, I just think the entirety of man, I try to approach it like that and give people like make people have a fun time whenever they see it. Cause music was like my catharsis for a while when I was dealing with like post 9/11 shit. And it's good to have something where you're just like, oh man, this week fucking sucked. And then you hear something and you're like, oh man, I'm not crazy. Like living in this insanity. I'm not like normal people understand this is insane, right? This is insane, right? And so I like to try to make sure that comes across and people don't feel like so. Not to be too hokey, but feel so alone.
No, I think that's why it works so well, because what you're doing is essentially political commentary, right? Where, as you said, it's cathartic because you kind of have these reactions that you build into your songs, whether it's like in the bars or even like the ad-libbing, where it's like, okay, you get that perspective. Like you're trying to be objective and present the news, but also you're not afraid to insert your opinion. And that kind of like helps really build it up where it's like, oh, yes, thank you. This is fucking crazy. Thank you for vocalizing that in the song. And again, it's just like, even if there wasn't the substance there, like the music itself is so good, but to add the substance to it, that's what I think just puts it over the top. So that's why I've been watching since day one. And I told Zed when we were talking a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, we've got to bring you on the Leftist Mafia before you're too big.
Oh man, I hope I get there. Smart. I hope I get there, man. I'm trying real hard. All of this is really new to me, so I'm like really like I'm very flattered to be invited on here and to be amongst y'all and to talk some shit on people. So it's very, very flattering to do all that. And I'm glad you like the music too. Like I think the big thing is like trying to make it so that it is, I mean, like, like a banger. I want it to be like really hype and really enjoyable every week, but I also don't want it to be like the same. Like it's got to have different energies. It's got to have like sometimes delve into different genres and stuff like that. Like, and be a little bit more fluid so people don't get bored and you can have something to listen to all the time. Like there's ones that I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to make it as fluid as possible so it's not like expiring like the next week, if that makes sense, And then every so often, and then hopefully at the end of the year or even midway through the year, you can go back and be like, man, what the fuck happened this year? Oh shit, here's my New Year's playlist. So that's the hope.
And then do like a remix at the end of the year of the entire year and just mix them all together.
Oh yeah, I'm getting ready for that. That's gonna be that's gonna be hard. Yeah. I think it's harder to do. That's what I was telling like it's harder to do like at the end of the week than it is to do like during the day. Because like if I do it like one on a day, I'm like, okay, well I know what happened and I know how significant it is and I know how I feel, so I can just run through this shit and I can talk about it. I can spend more time on each story. But at the end of the week, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta fucking figure out which shootings did not make the cut this week because fucking there's a shooting every week. There's like all this other crazy shit that's going on, and it's hard to like pick and summarize the week. So you have to be like super like active and staring at all of the poison that is Twitter all the time, So,
I was going to ask you about that because you're like, now you have to kind of be hyper fixated on the news. And like, for me, I've been doing, news for several years now, and avoiding brain rot is very, very difficult. So like, do you have any coping mechanisms? Like how do you get through the week? Because for me, if I don't take like really, like full days off on the weekend where I don't look at Twitter or don't look at the news, then coming back on Monday, I'm just like actually depressed because it really gets to you.
Well, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna drop like a depressing fact. It's not to bring everybody down or trauma dump. My father died like a couple like weeks ago, and I said it so casually. But like it was like about a month.
I'm sorry
or two
about
ago,
that, by the way.
No, it's all good. I just wanted to avoid people having to do that. No, my father died a couple months ago, and I remember I was being like really like exhausted at the time because we were doing everything. A bunch of stuff to lead up to switching to my channel and all this other stuff. And I was just like, man, I'm like exhausted. And I took a week off. And during that week, aside from like play video games, because I love video games, something that I did that was nice was like write for myself. And I mean, I know that not all of you, I don't think all of you are rappers, but like doing stuff, creative work for yourself, you think it's going to drain the tap, but it actually is very fulfilling because it's a muscle, it's a part of your muscle that you haven't worked with, right? So like you're being observational and pulling news stories and disseminating them and giving your opinion on these news stories. But I'm sure that like for me personally, like what I noticed is when I write for stuff that's not necessarily just the news, it can have political tinged ideas, it can have stuff like that, but if it's about personal, like just day-to-day shit, like shit with my girlfriend or like, you know, like how it feels where I'm at in my career and all this other kind of stuff, it just kind of feels like, oh, okay, I feel a little more free now and that I've gotten some stuff out of my system, so then I can tackle all of this other stuff. So I've been doing that like every week because this shit gets it's exhausting to write only about news all the time, like especially with rap stuff, because like if like again, there's been a mass shooting every single week except for like 3 weeks this year. And so I have to write about that every single fucking week. And there was a point where like Elon Musk, Kanye, and Trump or somebody else made the news like 7 weeks in a row. And I'm so fucking tired of talking about Elon Musk and his fucking blue checks, bro. Like I'm so over it. And Kanye said something crazy. Like, okay, fucking of course he did. Like I got so exhausted by it. I think doing. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, man. Like I think that's the best way to do it. Is just to kind of just to kind of do that. But also, I want to ask you guys something. For you guys, especially with covering news, has Twitter, for me, it's just become way less useful on figuring out current events. Like I feel 100%. Like current events. Okay, so it's not just me. Like current events. I feel like this week especially for some reason, it's very tough to see what's actually happening. Like it's all just blue check trash. All the replies to everybody are blue checks. Like I can't get any proper replies to like, which often replies would add real context to some stories, and I'm not seeing that now. So it's just like
it's all the replies that would usually be hidden for like spam or like more information.
Exactly.
At the top of the fucking comments and all over.
Yeah, they're all verified now.
And I see all kind of like for example, I see Tim Pool's tweets regularly. I've never seen I've never seen these people on my timeline in my life, and now I'm seeing them just all the fucking time.
Matt Walsh. I see him so much.
Well, here's the thing. I do think because you guys are more in that, like, because again, I've been in like gaming, music, and news, like all three kind of there. So I wouldn't see a lot of like people would say like I'm seeing like animal violence videos every week. I'm like, oh, I'm not noticing that. And then I went on Lance's podcast, and all of a sudden, wow, there's a lot of Tim Pool fans on my fucking Twitter all of a sudden. And what I'm noticing, but what I am noticing in like other communities, like outside of just the political sphere, like if you even outside of the political sphere, what's interesting to notice is that especially in like esports and gaming, the tweets that usually get promoted, because I worked in esports prior to all of this. I worked in like fighting game community stuff, and I worked for Evo. Like that community like has the most controversial take from anybody go viral, and it's just a fight for like 24 hours. And it feels like definitely the engine I think is just promoting whatever will piss you off.
Yeah.
You know, on a daily basis. It's just interesting it's shitty.
There's so much in general, just for so much just fighting and reactionary content and drama farming disguised as like commentary and political activism and news, and it's nothing more but drama, bitches, drama across the side, like across the aisle, and I mean that across the aisle. I want to be as fair as possible, like white internet left, Black internet left. I've been telling both sides to shut the fuck up all week. Literally, I'm in mad group chats. I was telling Last, I was like, yo, I think I might be the only person like orbiting amongst the spaces, but I don't know anybody the same way. I don't know anybody over here. I don't know anybody over there, but I've kind of got a little inside scoop. And I'm like, hey. Y'all don't get tired of talking about this shit? Like this weekend?
Yeah, dude.
Like, I swear, the Black internet left this week. I was like, hey, y'all don't feel like telling the racists they're doing racist stuff is a lot like telling fish they swim in water? Like, what if we just did something new? Because I was like, not for nothing. I was like, not for nothing on both sides of the fence. At the end of the day, if you talk about somebody bad, whether or not it be true, you feel it in your spirit to be true, it'd be completely accurate. Once you talk about somebody bad, they don't fucking like you no more. And I think that's something that like we're just not honest about, and that's what causes a lot of like foolishness. I'm like, just keep it G real. If you say something negative about somebody, they don't like you no more. It's pins and needles now, baby. It's not hot. So if you do all this drama farming, it's just endless drama. I'm like, just everybody shut the fuck up. Make some content. There's so much news. People are dying. Talk about something.
Dude. It's just exhausting too. You just wonder like why the energy could not like be spent on other like especially make content. Like why the energy could not be spent on other things rather than just the exhaustive energy of like I think it's a lot of people wanting to be self-fulfilling, and like there's a lot of accounts with like a lot of verified accounts with like 1,000 followers who are just like, all right guys, this is my ticket to fame, I'm gonna do a big takedown of Lance. Like there was a guy yesterday who had seen the interview with me and you, Lance, who was like tweeting up a storm about me, like on I've never met this person, and like tweeting up a storm about him, and I'm sure that's like yeah, join the club, but like tweeting up a storm about me at like 3 a.m. like, bro, it's not that deep, bro.
That's so
I just
weird.
fucking rapped about it, dude, man. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Eminem doesn't like Moby. I don't like Tim, bro. That's it. That's it. It's fine. Everyone's fine.
Well, you know what? The other thing that's kind of wild though is if you made like freestyle science about climate change every single week, it wouldn't get like the same clicks too, right? Like you do a really good job of kind of intersplicing stuff that is important and you should talk about, like dismantling white supremacy and stuff, and then also putting in current news that's going to make people be like, oh, I know that reference, I get that, I know who Mr. Beast is. Yeah.
Well, because the thing is, rap is about the culture, right? It's a cultural stamp. Like when you're freestyling in general, like you're taking a cultural stamp and personal identity and all this other kind of stuff, and you're putting it in there. I think a thing about the news, and this is the thing, is like when I was trying to think of what to do for like weekly shit, I was like, because my goal has always been, I came up in the era where like a lot of battle rappers and like every rapper was still trying to be the best and everything like that, and who's the GOAT and all this kind of shit. And like something I noticed from like, if you look at like rappers who like broke through whatever zeitgeist there was and like left an imprint on the culture, like Kendrick and Tupac and fucking Eminem and Nas and all these people, all of them have moments in their songs that like you feel like, oh my God, that was happening then. That they said that. Like my favorite, like during the Iraq War, like I heard like an Eminem verse where he talked about like, oh, you're gonna get when you couldn't say anything about the Iraq War, you're not American, you're not this, you're not that, culture war in full swing, and he's like, you're gonna get fucking drafted, this place fucking sucks, this war's bullshit. I'm like, you can fucking say that in rap? And my dumbass who lived in Irvine, which is like the bubbliest bubble of fucking California, was like, I want to do that forever. I want to fucking talk shit and say what I want to say, and if that's the medium to do it, that's what I like. And I like to talk about culture. I think it's relevant when I think a lot of people know about the Mr. Beast story. That is relevant. That plays into when you see things in media, in culture, like fucking like Will Smith's slap at the Oscars, that plays into everybody's view of the world for the next like, what is it, 72 hours in some way, shape, or form, or the next week. So I think it's
We
important to
dragged
call
that
those
for
things
so
out.
much longer than that, unfortunately.
Oh my Okay, yeah, it
dragged
played
the
for
fuck out of
72.
that.
Yeah, it played for 144 hours more than it needed to.
Right,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Well, fun fact, on our very first episode, we uncanceled Will Smith specifically because of that slap. So you're welcome, Will Smith, for your career back.
That's right.
You remember? God, how do you
I
remember?
have no fucking idea what happened.
I don't remember what happened yesterday.
I'm a huge fan of our show.
Would you like me to tell you?
I don't go back and see most of the episodes. I actually went and saw because I don't look at the comments anymore. Because I just assume bullshit, so I just don't.
Smart.
But the other day, because I especially didn't look after I brought foreign, because I was like, oh, they be mad in these comments on David thing when I'm just too black on here by myself. I brought another Bahamian.
Excuse me, on David's only. I can just casually on David's thing.
I was like, oh Lord, I know they was mad as hell. We was just being so Bahamian, and then I went in the comments and it was overwhelmingly just
right.
positive. They were like, oh, we love it. All this baby.
They loved foreign. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it was great.
Seems your expectations of me are incredibly low.
They are. They are in fact.
Zed, did you want to, if you feel comfortable talking about how 9/11 affected you, because you referenced it, and I think that perspective is really important because you don't hear it.
So my fucking whole life is fucking defined by 9/11.
Yeah.
Like my entirety of my fucking child. I'm gonna turn on my fan real quick because my life is defined by 9/11, and then I'm brown and it gets hot everywhere. Fuck. Hold on.
And by the way, go subscribe to Freestyle the News if you haven't already.
Yeah, please go subscribe to my channel. I need more subscribers. So pretty much tell me if the fan is being a pain in the ass.
No, you're good.
A big thing. So yeah, I mean, like I was 13 when 9/11. Do you guys know anything about like Irvine and Orange County and shit like that? Super Republican county.
I thought you were going to say, do you guys know anything about 9/11?
Oh, have you heard?
I think I was 13 as well, so we might be the same age.
Not fun.
I'm pretty sure I was 13 on 9/11. 87.
88.
So we're okay.
You're a late bloomer, sir. So,
yeah.
But like, pretty much, like I said, grew up in Irvine, Muslim kid. Father was an alcoholic, a lot of other shit. But one thing that was pretty prevalent was like, you're told a lot, especially in that county, like, hey, what's proper, what's not proper, right? And so I wasn't super popular, didn't have a lot of friends, and then like 9/11 happened. And again, up until that point, you had the OJ trial growing up and all this other kind of stuff. So you're pumped with like fear from media and that like, oh, racism is over and we live in a utopia. And thanks, Martin, for doing all that. And then that happened, and I'm like, that's fucking bullshit, because a lot of people started to look at me differently. It was hard to walk into stores. A lot of weird, like small, I mean, like, yeah, microaggressions, I guess is the word, just throughout my life, just having to deal with that. And then also the fact that like every single week on the news, you just felt like, Hitler comparisons now are bad. They were just as bad around there, where it was like, people thought like, okay, we got to fucking take care of these Muslims. It's getting really fucking scary. People say, let's fucking Peter King did those Muslim hearings. There was fucking like every other week there was something about like, oh, what are these fucking muzzies gonna do? And it was hard on campus, in school, with like kids who are 13, who parents are pumping them full of that shit. Just kind of existing and telling people like, hey guys, like even telling people like, hey, I feel really like pressured by all of this really anti-Muslim, anti-brown person sentiment. And a lot of people just kind of roll their eyes like, oh, you're so angry all the time. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking angry. It's the fucking all this shit going on.
They treated me like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. So like there was definitely weird things. Somebody knocked on my dad's window when he was in, like, literally got out of the car, knocked on the window in traffic, like, are you Muslim and shit like that. That shit happened.
Christ.
Yeah, bro. Like that shit happens like in Irvine, and like and it's famously the safest city in America, but it's for a very specific group of people. And yeah, I grew up in all of that, and it influenced the way I view the world. It influenced the way I view media, because all the media I liked was about like underdogs and people. Like, I liked fucking Spider-Man. I liked anime and shit like that. And people are like, oh, this is dumb. Anime is dumb, and rap is dumb, and Panic at the Disco is the best band ever, and fucking you know, we only like Neil Simon plays and shit. And so a lot of that influenced everything about my life, you know, with how to fucking live and how to be proper. And I'm still like, you know, years on as an 80s baby, still trying to deprogram a lot of the shit that like Irvine told me about the world and how to deal with people and what's the proper way to go about things. And I think a lot of my music is trying to fight like a lot of the fears that I just in generally have from, you know, what's going on, and just kind of, it sounds so corny, but just to kind of like inspire people, because music is cathartic and it can actually inspire activism and do things. And yeah, man, like I started to go so long, but yeah, like has a profound impact on my life. You know, I still feel it. Like, I still feel like, especially in the music industry, where like it's gotten a little bit better in the last few years, but there was definitely a point like 5 or 6 years ago where, again, it's still really hard being brown, where like the first second people see you, a brown guy with a beard, and it's like, oh, that's fucking dirty, you know? And until you had like Hassan Minaj and Kumail Nanjiani, we were either Apu or the guy with a sword in Call of Duty who you shoot, you know? Like, and so having to have that differentiation is a big deal. Having to have those people who are much more in media seen as outside of that is a big deal. And again, like, even for me now, like, I've like only in the last few years been kind of embracing, I'm like Indian, Pakistani, and Arab. Like, that's only in the last few years been embracing, like, I like that part of myself. Not that like, oh, it's who I am. It's just it's who I am, and I like that part of myself. Like, that took a long fucking time to get there, you know? So yeah, dude, the biggest part of my existence is like dealing with that shit. You know, and it's like, it's weird to know, like, okay, well, in COVID, you had like a 9/11 every single day. You had this happen every single day. It's like, it's informed my frustration with the culture wars. It's informed my like, you know, my view towards like being like, all right, well, fucking, even if I think that I'm so progressive and good now, I thought I was back then, and then I realized racism was way more real. So there's got to be a point where I have a blind spot, and it's informed me on that. So I can always be like, all right, well, fucking, I may not know enough about this. Let me figure out a little bit more and not just kind of dig my heels in on stuff. So yeah, man, profound impact.
What do you think is like radicalized you the most? Like, in this unlearning things journey, rap?
And then I mean, like, I think going to Berkeley did a lot for that. I don't even think it's radical. I think it's like just decoupling. I hate something that I did learn a lot also from 9/11 is just like the way the media ecosystem just kind of works to craft narratives, and the way people kind of latch onto talking points more so than, because people are generally either really comfortable and just, I don't want to I'm tired, I don't want to deal with anything, or they're bored and they'll latch on to media talking points. And so something that getting out of Orange County and getting out of California taught me a ton about, like, all right, well, the things I take for granted in California, I take for granted. And B, the bubble that I live in is not the bubble everywhere. Right. So I think, especially meeting people in Berkeley from like New York, from Virginia, you know, especially like way more, because there's a lot of like, I hung out with like, I don't know, I hung out with a much more diverse crowd than I hung out with in Irvine. Irvine was mainly like white people and like a few Asian people. And then I had a huge, like, you know, people from like Ecuador, people from like, you know, fucking Turkey and shit like that, everywhere. I hung out at Berkeley. So this is Berkeley in Boston, by the way, not Berkeley in San Francisco, because I know that's fucking same name and it's weird. But yeah, I think that did quite a bit of a number on me.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Well, I was just gonna add one little quick thing. I do. There's one of my best friends. His family is from India, and we used to cross over into the United States all the time. And it would be me, him, and like a bunch of other people. He was the only person every single time. I think this happened like 4 or 5 times in a row that would get stopped for the random security search. Like every single time he got profiled.
Oh
yeah, but like without fail.
I will say this. Recently, it's been a lot better, but there was definitely like a string for like a long ass time where I'm like, oh, I gotta be ready to be. I gotta be at the airport like 3 hours instead of 2 hours early, for shit. Because like I remember my little brother was 8 at the time, and he got stopped, and because he had a fucking like they were like questioning him about a tissue that he had in his hand because he was blowing his nose, and they were just like, well, what do you have in that tissue? He's like, snot, like
so suspicious.
It's yeah. So there was definitely like a period where that was like definitely I remember coming back from a trip, and like I was in the air when all of it was happening, and I got to like this one airport, and I was just walking around with my bag, and a security guard came up to me and just like started opening my bag and looking through it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then when I finally land, my friend's picking me up. I'm like, dude, what's going on? He's like, dude, you not here? Like there was a bombing in the Boston Marathon today. And I was like, oh, but like I was getting stopped so much that day, and I had no fucking idea what was going on. So
Jesus, yeah. I mean, I don't think that people really realize the like the ripple effect that 9/11 had. Like, I mean, just like in 2016, people forget this, but like Trump was proposing his Muslim registry, like a lockdown on Muslim, like scary shit. And I feel like with different groups, like the bigotry, like it comes in waves, right? Like there's really increased intensity and then it kind of dies down, but it always comes back because there's always going to be some marginalized group that is the target, that's the scapegoat. And yeah, I think that these stories are really important, even if it's kind of like it's hard to talk about. So I appreciate you sharing because yeah, it's just so fucked up.
I appreciate. I mean, that's why I talk about like rap and everything. Like I love talking about. Now I like talking about it because it's something where I can like talk about. I think a lot of the frustrations that I have currently with like the world right now have very similar shades to what was going on then. Like it's very hard to not see the culture war now and feel like it's been cribbed from that era. Like I really do think that like Twitter is Twitter in 2023 that wishes it was 2012 or 2003, right? Like they want a world that's around that specific time, and it's not. And so it's very hard for them to understand when certain culture war points, like it'll do really well amongst a base, and then when election time comes in, oh, the mayor of Jacksonville just lost their job. Like that kind of shit happens all the fucking time. And I think something that's just specifically like the way the culture war has just kind of evolved from that, like all the entire playbook is there. It's like the pick and roll for basketball. It's like a fundamental part of what this is, like right now, like, you'll every so often nowadays the Islamophobia I'll get is like Ilhan Omar and this and that, right? But every so often when it's an election year and next year's gonna fucking suck, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be like full blast, right? And I think the only thing, like the main thing that has saved, that has helped people in the past is that it's exhausting. When that's the only thing in your playbook, like the reason all of that shit disappears. I'm sorry I'm talking so much, guys. I'll shut the fuck up.
No.
Yeah.
Talk.
But the main reason like all of that shit stopped at a certain point was because people were just fucking exhausted. It's exhausting. You can't be angry that fucking long. Like eventually you have to touch grass or or go out. Uber Eats costs too much. Like you can't just be on your like addicted to this shit for so long. So I think when you see like, oh, well, the red wave didn't materialize as much. Oh, well, this didn't do as well. Oh, this one didn't do as well. That doesn't mean the nefarious forces aren't working, but it does mean that it's a little exhausting. It's a little tiring, And we also have to remember that when we're trying to like make activism happen, like when we're trying to do things, like at a certain point, people, even if they need to hear it, get exhausted because most people are pretty selfish and are just kind of stuck in their own little, like I was in Irvine for fucking years, stuck in my own bubble, So
Yeah.
I'd like to ask
Well
you
said.
trivial for research purposes. What's your zodiac sign, Zed? While I have you here.
Gemini.
Okay, noted.
Yeah. Did you think I was a Gemini?
You have a reading or something to do? Like,
bro, how many? Like every time someone asks me, I was like, "Yo, what's your zodiac sign?" Gemini, and they're like, "You're trouble." I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean, bro?"
I didn't know that.
What the fuck
I
to do with that?
made no sweeping generalizations about your character. I merely
That's
stored
awesome.
the information.
You were the nicest person who's ever learned that I'm a Gemini.
Yeah,
You're like easily the nicest person. I have been stopped more for being a Gemini than I have for being a brown person.
I will say, I have dated a few Geminis that were romantic terrorists. Not to say that about all.
Damn.
But I can certainly say that about a few.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo sun.
Oh, my girlfriend's a Leo.
Good taste. Excellent taste.
Yeah. Y'all are crazy.
You know what's so funny? You know what's fucked up? I want to be like, no, right? But my last ex, right, we're so cool. And the other day he came and he brought me, when we were together, I bought him this little I call him Earthy Man, right? He acts like the Lorax. So I bought him this little stuffed Lorax. And he came to my house and he brought me a Cheshire cat. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Look at them out of my living room. He was like, because chaos. He was like, because you're chaos. And I was like,
because my thing with like the zodiac thing is like there's no like scientific explanation. The closest I've come from a scientific explanation is like you're all born like in the same month, so you experience the year the same.
There's a whole this is the thing.
Yeah.
That's one of those things like when we be commenting on stuff and we don't understand that there's a whole school of thought, a whole discipline we're not in. Like they have there's a whole chart. Like it's not just the
come on.
Shut up. Not
it's
you
all bullshit garbage. It's all bullshit garbage.
Please. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, you believe in that? You believe in crypto? All of you, shut up.
I don't believe in crypto. I don't believe it's bullshit. Just like zodiac.
I'm about to get like 30
behind the scenes. It was wild.
I'm about to get like 30 blue check motherfuckers on me. I was like, see, they're dissing the zodiac signs. Tolerant left.
Zed was on the DNC show Leftist Mafia. Or Zed was on the far left communist leftist mafia. You'll probably get both of them. Or conservative potentially. You never know.
Yeah. Do you know if Zed has ties to Hezbollah? I don't. Well, you could, because you fucking weird.
Someone said in the comments, Pisces. I hate that for you.
Huh?
Someone in the comments, Fleiss. She's. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my McDonald's. Y'all carry on without me. Hold on.
That's gonna be on the bingo card soon. That's gonna be one of the bingo squares.
Yeah. I love how the viewers get a bingo every single week because they know us so well. That's funny.
Yeah,
I be trying to be different.
Someone pointed out there's a major missing little square on the bingo card that needs to be added immediately. It's easily the longest running bit on this show. Me calling David's audience racist.
That's Olay's job. That's not your job. This is what I get for like a single troll in my chat. I got mods this time. I added 3 mods, so
I added some new mods too.
Is that what you said? Was it a single troll you said?
I think it was like 2 trolls, but
2. Okay.
What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna read the chat the whole time. So I got some mods. Don't worry. We're good now.
Okay, so what else happened this week?
So, I mean, I have some things that we can talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I said Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, I know you have a list. When you mentioned Marjorie Taylor Greene, you didn't bring up that like super fucking racist shit she was doing today when she was called a white supremacist.
Folks, I just put out a very long video. It's 17 minutes. I go through all the receipts. It's a great video. Go watch it. But yeah, okay, proceed. I have to plug my shit.
Yeah, so I'll do this. I mean, this is the one that I saw. I think there's also a previous video to this where they're actually like battling out, like her and Jamal Bowman. But this is just her comments.
Oh, about her being afraid of Jamal Bowman.
Yeah, that's the video I got.
He was aggressive and threatening, and his demeanor was just really. I mean, it's
I haven't even seen
textbook.
that. Let me see. Here we go.
Were you gonna say Karen behavior?
Yeah, Central Park Karen in particular. Like she channeled Central Park Karen. Like the soul of her winning.
I will say this. I saw the Matt Walsh tweet where he was like, Karen, I'm sorry, Matt.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. This happens.
I saw the Matt Walsh tweet where like he's like, Karen is a fucking racist slur.
Oh yes,
racist. It's a racist slur.
Yeah, I saw that tweet,
but I haven't heard racist.
Dave, can you zoom out again for a second on this tweet?
Attack on Titan looking at somebody.
First of all, no. First and foremost, he needs to take Karen and be happy with it because I don't like that shit. Because I don't know why we keep calling racist white bitches Karen when we need to just call them racist white bitches. That's what they are, and it's ridiculous. Karen slur. What it is making something like downplaying what it is. They get people killed, they get people arrested. Just because you happen to see a couple that make it to Twitter and social media and everybody Karen, Q. And no, racist white bitches.
But also like white women are not the only people who are called Karen. Like there's a lot of motherfuckers called Karen
and
who are men who are like
Straight up.
I just feel bad for like actual Karens, like people named Karen who aren't like
bro,
that.
They're funny, bro.
Especially if they're good. If they're good people and they're named Karen.
I know, it's just not fair to them. It's not fair to them.
You know how many you know how many Kyles have been radicalized in society over the last year, bro? It's an epidemic. Like I don't get it, man.
I just love how the responses to Matt Walsh's tweet is just okay, Karen, shut up, Karen. Like nobody cares.
I don't know why Matt Walsh wants a racist slur against white people like that bad. It's not that great, bro. It's not great to have one. It's not.
He wants to be the victim.
Yeah.
Matt Walsh has to
it's all about victim behavior. That's all it is.
Yeah, bro.
There was not enough. I was swarmed. It's all on video. Everyone can see this. But I will tell you what's on video is Jamal Bowman shouting at the top of his lungs, cursing, calling me a calling me a white supremacist, which I take great offense to. That is like calling a person of color the N-word, which should never happen.
She actually said that with a straight face.
This is the first time seeing this video. This is unbelievable.
Wait, hold on.
I just want to say this is someone who just last year, I believe it was last year, could have been the year before, but sometime in the past 2 years, showed up at Nick Fuentes' America First event as the special guest of the evening to come on stage, give Nick Fuentes a little hug and shake hands, and then give a speech to his white supremacist Groyper fan base. I think calling her a white supremacist is a very fair categorization of who this lady is.
Absolutely.
I just don't know how it's the same as the end. That's such a weird.
Fuck?
Again, it's that victim behavior.
No, it's not just victim behavior, but it's a deliberate way that people who are in power like prevent other people from having the words to call it that. If you make these are slurs that y'all have come up with when you subjugated a people, and then you call them naming and claiming what you do, the system by which you subjugate people and you uphold white supremacy, you make that tantamount to you being oppressed in a slur. What it is gaslighting people. That's what it is. It's a deliberate tactic. It's not just victimhood. It's bullshit.
Is equal to that, and that is wrong. Jamal Bowman was down there cursing at me, telling me to get the F out of there. And he was leading the mob right outside the vehicle I was sitting in. We have this all on video. And then
we do actually, and that's unfortunate for her.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
One that approached me, even CNN reported that, yelling, shouting, raising his voice. He has aggressive, his physical mannerisms are aggressive.
This is so racist. This is
right.
Can I say something? Can I just say something? Can you pause? Like, I just don't understand. Like, if you want my, like, I appreciate being a guest on this week. Like, just as from a rapper's perspective, something that really fucking annoys me is like, look, like when I hear people about like woke people are like weak and shit like that, bro. I'm a rapper. I grew up in battle rapping. When I hear people who are like free speech advocates get fucking pressed over that, it's so fucking annoying, dude. Like, why are you so pressed over it? Somebody telling you to get the fuck out.
Because it's
bro, you were in the fucking halls like a year ago in front of AOC's office, like with like your 4 motherfucking friends banging on doors and shit with like the most unathletic motherfuckers alive.
Yes,
starting a chain
lady.
gang.
Before
like,
she became
like
a
school shooting survivor.
Yeah, and on top of that,
before she was a congressperson, that's how that was her claim to fame. She went to DC as just like a right-wing activist, and like literally followed and harassed David Hogg, who was just a high school kid at the time.
Yeah, and on top of that, like her first couple of weeks in Congress, do you remember that Cori Bush had to move offices away from her because she was so confrontational? Do you remember how, I forgot who it was, but she said that she felt threatened by like Guam veterans who brought cookies for her because she said something stupid about the people of Guam, but she saw like all of them and she felt intimidated when they were just trying to be nice to her. Like there's so many instances of her like trying to weaponize her like whiteness and Karenisms against people of color. It just, she's such a liar. And if you look at the videos, so the video where she says that Jamal Bowman was being aggressive in his demeanor and mannerisms, like she's up in his face as well, like pointing at him, and her guns are as big as his. Like she's trying to pretend like she's all, she's threatened for her life. She's such a fucking liar. Like she talks about this being on video. So if you go back and look to the video that she was referring to, so she was in New York City the day that Trump was getting arrested, and there were a bunch of counter protesters that basically like drove her out of the event. And she said that basically Jamal Bowman tried to sick the mob on her when in actuality, if you go back and watch the video, which I did in my video, he didn't start yelling at her until she was in the car and safe. And after that, he was talking about how, get her ass out of here. Like, this is my city. We don't support white supremacist rhetoric. We support love. It's like, very fucking threatening as he's preaching about love. Like, she's such a liar.
I think there's a new video now with the interaction. I haven't seen any of this, but
new interaction.
I haven't seen the footage yet. I want to see this.
Turn this volume up. All right.
What are you talking about? Where are the migrant children?
Kids?
You guys,
we're accepting them. We love them. We love the migrant children. Wait, we lost them.
You can't find them.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah, migrant children missing.
No, we don't know the news. I don't know. That's Fox News. That's Fox.
Let me tell you
yelling, shouting, raising his voice. He has aggressive mannerisms, and I am concerned about it. I feel threatened by him.
It's so nonsensical that it's comical. You can see clearly in the video that we were like playfully jousting with each other. She was laughing, I was laughing. We were talking about each other's party and certain issues. So the demeanor and the disposition, on the steps, it was playful. We were going after each other.
You know what I think it is?
Next morning to say what she said, I mean, it's a complete 180. Number one, it's no longer comical now because now you are using historical racist tropes toward black men, menacing his mannerisms. I'm afraid that's the stuff that got Trayvon Martin killed. Tamir Rice killed, Michael Brown killed. I mean, I believe Officer Darren Smith literally talked about his presence and his strength as an excuse for killing him. And this has happened to black men historically. And so now we're in a dangerous space. And that's why I wanted to be really, really clear to reporters today how reckless and dangerous her statements were. And she should know better. I believe she knows better. This is another reason why we need to teach the accurate history of America in our schools and make sure African-American history is a part of that, because her rhetoric and her behavior in Congress outside of me, pictures with the AR-15 with the squad behind her, chasing David Hogg and stalking him as he engaged in activism around gun violence. Her rhetoric, her language, her behavior has been aggressive and intimidating since she's gotten into Congress. Now she's trying to displace it onto me.
Yeah, well,
I was gonna say, like, I feel like, I think it's a little worse than like just on her part, for two reasons. Number one, like, I think part of it is like maybe I do think she's just kind of an idiot in the sense that like she's trying to do a bunch of shit from a political playbook that's not working. And she doesn't understand the optics. And when the optics are explained to her, she doubles down like a fucking idiot. Right. I'm not like, she's definitely said some racist shit and but like, I think the entirety of it is, which I think is a little worse because She came in as this fucking firebrand. I'm saying whatever the fuck I want, and she got a rash of shit for it. And so now she's like, all right, I'm going to play by this playbook. The Democrats are a mob that storms cities and everything like that. And then you're going to turn it on a black congressman, which obviously has racial overtones. And yeah, if you were someone like Tucker Carlson or everything like that, you fucking understand that. But I don't think, and this is not me, again, I don't think she's smart enough to get that. She's fucking paddling in water that she's not doing well in. She's introducing articles of impeachment on fucking Biden. That's fucking dumb, dude.
What makes
like there's
you
no
want to absolve Marjorie of intent in the way? What makes you capable?
I'm not absolving. I'm not absolving.
It's not absolving.
For you to, can you let me talk? For you,
no, go for it. Go for it.
What you're saying is you're saying you believe that she is not as intelligent. She is not aware. Like she stumbled into this. This is something she's doubled down in some way.
Mm-hmm.
You are taking away like intent. What I think Jamal Bowman is speaking to, and what I'm about to speak to is no, she's somebody who is consistently espoused white supremacist rhetoric. She is tied to white supremacist. She does nothing but advance white supremacy. She knows what she's doing. This is something that historically has been done. This is a consistent pattern. That's why he was calling her a white supremacist before even that action. No, it's not a mistake. It's not. She's
I missed. Can I rephrase? Is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think there is a.
Perhaps you should do it in rap form. That's when you're at your best.
This motherfucker wants me to freestyle so bad. I think there's something that I think aside from her racism, it's important to also call out her incompetence. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So like 100%, her perspective on it is a white supremacist perspective. Her perspective on it is 100% a racist perspective, right? The actions in which she's going towards it show incompetence is what I'm trying to say. So like I think yes, it's important to call out like 100%. We're all calling out that she's racist. I do think also, I'm sorry if it came off that I'm like fucking absolving.
Oh no, you don't have to. First of all, you don't have to apologize.
No. But that's not what I wanted to do. So like I'm trying to say like she's also incompetent. I think what's frustrating, especially for me, is to watch people who are incompetent, like because that makes her. I think Tucker Carlson and people like her are very incompetent at a lot of things, and they get away with a lot because we think they're competent, Machiavellian, brilliant motherfuckers. They're racist and they're kind of stupid, and they're flailing around in an era that doesn't suit their tactics.
I think that's true. I think you're right, and intellectually I agree with you in the sense of like the tactics seem so stupid because it's so inconsistent in the whole blah blah blah. But then when you think about application, what they really care about, they're not in it for like the intellectualism that we approach with it, consistency, we're approaching these things in good faith. They're just in it for where they get. You know what I mean? And right now, stupidity 100. And just being the biggest bigot has been working for them for at least the last 5-6 years.
100%.
Like if you think about the game is who's the biggest bigot, who can get the most bigoted shit off? She's winning. She's doing well. She feels
easy.
Yeah.
No, I see what you're saying. No, but I didn't want to like absolve her of the very obvious racist trope that she's doing. But I just wanted to point out
career of doing that.
Yeah, but like I feel like her incompetence is just so fucking because that's what they crib, right? Like the crib is like or the grift is it's like when Trump would say racist shit, oh, you have to admire how he's stoking a crowd and shit like that. And it's just like it doesn't make any sense. Like you're popular in spite of your incompetence.
Yeah.
Which is what's frustrating to me.
Yeah, it would frustrate me about how like Trump would say something stupid and like fart on stage, and then like there'd be people who are like, "Oh, well, this is why what he did actually is genius." Like he's playing 4D chess.
Yeah,
it's like
I don't understand. It's like somebody trying to play like again, obvious racist tropes, but also like the patina of her. Like what's hilarious to me too is like just the demeanor she has in that press conference versus every other press conference she's had, where she's all like, oh fuck everybody, blah blah, and then like he was there, he was terrifying, he was just the fake composure of that shit.
I also hate that she's got.
They hide behind their stupidity as well.
Yeah, 100%. No, absolutely. 100%. And when it comes to Marjorie Taylor Greene, like. I don't like how it's kind of become normalized because of how much of an extremist she is. That like, you are 100% a white supremacist. You have a long history of it. You have a history of saying all this like incredibly deeply anti-Semitic stuff, spreading anti-Semitic conspiracy theories about like the Rothschilds being responsible for the California wildfires. All of this shit. Like she had to fucking learn the Holocaust was bad by going to a Holocaust museum. Like I think it should be normalized to for the rest of the politicians to talk about what an extremist she is all the time.
100%.
Zed, what's the art on your wall? I've been wondering.
On my wall?
Yeah,
it's My Hero.
It's beautiful.
I fucking.
Oh, okay.
It's My Hero Academia.
Yeah, to go crazy.
I was gonna say, you know, I what he said when he was asked, what was it on MSNBC about that confrontation? Like that's the first thing I thought too. And as someone who spars and goes on right-wing shows and does that type of thing with right-wingers, like I totally felt that sort of thing that he felt there. Like, you know, we disagree, but I thought there was this basic understanding that we were going to have this debate.
Matt, and there were people upset.
What?
Your mic is making the people upset.
Oh, is my mic messed up?
I mean, I can still hear what you're saying, but it's just there's some.
Did you turn your camera off to smoke?
It should be working.
It's one of the bingo card chips, I think.
Wait.
How's it
I'm
sound
not
now?
offended by weed.
Good. Now it's good.
I live in California.
It's not you because I think they make money or something. I think you two don't let them.
I don't know.
She has a real job too.
I think it's probably okay now, but I'm not positive.
My CEO them know I'm valuable.
Oh, sweet.
Damn, I just saw everybody in the chat was going nuts.
Olay wants to make an entrance because when she comes back, there's like a smoke cloud, like it's slow motion.
I was like, shit, bro.
Well,
you just need like some RGB lights.
To your point, Bender, though, like this confrontation, like you can tell she's being just as, if not more, confrontational than Jamal Bowman is.
Right.
Yet she's playing victim afterwards.
And if we can't even like go back and forth with these guys, even when they believe something completely, you know, different than us, that we, but if we can't have that basic back and forth engagement, where someone is then going to go ahead and fucking just make up a scenario that didn't even happen, then like none of this there's nothing left here. Like it's just so ridiculous. Like that's the one thing that like I always say, like, you know, if you have the basic decency to engage with someone who believes something different than you, then at least there's that. And like that's how I feel Jamal Bowman like was so like he was like backstabbed in a way. Like he thought no matter how terrible she was, he thought there was that basic level where, oh, we can at least go at it with each other and walk away. But she basically defied that by making up a scenario where he was attacking her. And now there's not even that. Like now he knows that not only does she have completely different beliefs than him, but she will use just complete bullshit to stifle just any even discussion or debate on the issues, which means you can't even discuss with her. Like how AOC, for example, has that bill with Matt Gaetz to stop stocks from being stock trading if you're a congressperson. Like, listen, they don't agree on anything, but they were able to find that one specific issue that they can agree on. That can never happen with Marjorie Taylor Greene because she's going to make up a fake scenario to endanger someone, really. Like, that is bullshit what she did.
Yeah, she basically, here's the thing. This is why she hates Jamal Bowman so much, because he gives her a taste of her own medicine and she hates it. Like she loves to be confrontational and get up in people's faces, and he's not backing down. Like she thinks that if she could pull up this, oh my God, you know, he made me feel threatened, that he's going to back down. No, fuck you. Like you don't get to just like silence him by using your whiteness as a sort of fucking like cudgel. It's sick. And yeah, there's a really good piece in Medium written by G. Korea. It was from 2021, but it still is relevant today, that talks about this, like being a black man in America, or black in America more specifically. And like you have to be hyper aware of these things to protect yourself, even if you're just like out in public, you know, with a bunch of your friends, how that can be perceived by white people. And so like she's playing into this, and it's on, like, it's genuinely just sick. Cause I mean, Jamal Bowman is not some random person. Like Jamal Bowman is her colleague. She knows that he's not dangerous or violent. It's just sickening.
If you want, we can discuss the what Ron DeSantis has signed into law.
Oh my God, yeah, please.
Let me share this.
He went on an anti-LGBTQ plus bill signing marathon yesterday.
So Alejandra Caraballo tweets out, Ron DeSantis just legalized the kidnapping of trans kids by unaffirming parents. They could take them from safe states to Florida and get emergency jurisdiction for custody.
What?
And this is not like hyperbole. You can read through the piece.
Whoa. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Oh, sorry. I meant to change the tab, actually. But yeah, that's the headline. Let me show you the piece here. So I'll just read this paragraph here. The new law will allow the state to take custody of a child if they have been subjected to or are threatened with being subjected to gender-affirming care, which includes puberty blockers and hormone replacement therapy, which, by the way, has been used for decades. Florida courts could modify custody agreements from a different state if the minor is likely to receive gender-affirming care in that second state. The text refers to gender-affirming care as sex reassignment prescriptions or procedures and qualifies this care as a form of physical harm.
Okay, so you guys remember how I said I was like involved in esports and shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a major I work in fighting games. There's a major fighting game tournament. This is like there's a point to the story called CEO. It's called Community Effort Orlando. One of the biggest, events in that state for that medium, and it's going to become bigger this year because of all the money coming into Capcom. And like you have people flying out from all over the world, from Japan, from fucking Pakistan, from New York, from everywhere. People come to Daytona to go to this event. And over the last 2 months, it's been very clear. People have been saying, look, y'all got to move this event because the venue is becoming increasingly dangerous to go to. Even prior to DeSantis, there was shit going on where people would just be in Daytona, and like a friend of mine who's a commentator, just in Daytona, people free passing with a car by, yelling the N-word, throwing shit at like black people and gay people and brown people. Like that shit was happening all the fucking time. And there's been this thing like, hey, it's really dangerous to be in that state. You gotta move. And they're saying like, we can't move. All of us live here. It's very hard for us to move this event. First off, that event's gonna have a lot of fucking like you're unknowingly fucking your economy as well as endangering trans people there, right? Like it makes no fucking sense. Like Ron DeSantis is throwing this culture war bullshit into his state and fucking not only the culture of his state but the economy of his state by doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on this.
Well, Disney,
because I don't know
that
anybody who would fucking go to this thing because of that now.
Disney just announced they weren't opening up a new. They were supposed to move $2,000 billion from California. Yeah,
$2,000
billion.
Yeah,
California's in a surplus. Outside of the writer strike is fucking it. But like without the writer strike, we were in a surplus.
Florida too.
Huh?
Truckers are starting to boycott Florida too.
Really?
That's gonna have devastating effects, obviously, to supply lines, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, bro. I don't. Again, like I just don't understand. Growing up, I was always told party of business, not this is stupid. This is unbelievably stupid. And that's not even taking into account the amount of people who are trans in Florida and are gonna have to deal with all this fucking horrific shit. Who have to go into hiding about who they are.
It also targets trans adults. Only physicians are allowed to offer gender-affirming care, not nurse practitioners. Anyone who violates the law could be charged with a misdemeanor.
And this right here is significant because 80% of gender-affirming care in Florida provided to trans adults, it comes from nurse practitioners. So it's going to make it virtually impossible for a lot of trans adults in Florida to get gender-affirming care to where they're having to do GoFundMes to like leave the state. My friend had to do one. Thankfully, she just reached her goal. But on top of that, as of July 1st, there's another law that takes effect that he just signed on that same day, and it's a bathroom bill. And basically what that does is it literally legalizes discrimination against trans people. So like if you're a trans person and you walk into a bathroom and a cis person asks you to leave and you don't leave, then you are criminally trespassing there. And that can go, I think the penalty is like a $4,000 fine and a year in prison. So there's a lot. Also, there's a drag ban, and it's not necessarily an outright ban. It's an indirect ban. So that way you can strip away the liquor licenses from businesses if they host drag shows. So this has led to pride parades being canceled already. Like what he did yesterday was like a huge it was a massive step towards just like straight up criminalizing trans existence in the state. And now Texas is even a safer state than Florida. Like literally, that's how bad it's gotten.
Oh, it's been seeming like it is crazy in so many ways how Florida has been basically outdoing even the reddest states you could think of. Like Florida is now, red state #1. Even Texas can't keep up.
Gotta get those polls. Gotta get those polls for that primary.
And that's why we're making it clear to people too. Like, yeah, you should still care about Florida because there's still obviously a whole bunch of great people who are caught in this, and obviously, you know, when it comes to electoral politics, you could still win local races, statewide races, things like that. But on a national level, we got to stop pretending Florida is some sort of battleground purple state. It's gone. It's gone.
I think especially in the last like few cycles, it's been very clear that Florida is not a swing state anymore. And I mean, I think on top of that, like, you know, just also like just the amount of, it's not helping him. He's like drowning in the polls. He's not doing well. Like he's like, it's the most like the whole Disney thing, huh?
That's because they're in a battle of personas. The Republicans are an unserious party now, so it's a battle of. They have two battles: battle of bigotry and battle of biggest dick in the room. You know what I mean? Who has the biggest? Who's the big, and that's what it is. And so, like, DeSantis is doing all this extra wild shit because that's how he was trying to set himself apart. Like, no, I'm the real. You know what I mean? I'm the real bigot. I'm doing real shit. But what happened is Trump came back swinging on foolishness. Trump was like, "Well, I've got drama. Y'all want a drama? Y'all was bored. Y'all needed entertainment. I'm back. I'm back, baby. I got charges." Like,
yeah, he did.
Yeah, just went right to the whole groomer thing.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. If you know somebody in Florida who is trans, try to, like, it's unrealistic to tell everyone to leave because that requires, you know, employment, housing, capital. It's so difficult. But like, if you can help a friend or something out of Florida, if you could support a GoFundMe, $5 here and there, like, we can't make a difference on a macro level, but on an individual level, we can try to help because it's very, very scary right now.
It's also wild because like you, all of you are mentioning that like he's not really good just for Floridians, right? Just for like, you know, their quality of life or doing things for the people. This seems to be a pattern with Republicans right now. Like Ted Cruz right now wants to launch an investigation into Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light, over using Dylan Mulvaney in a promotional, like single promotional post. You want to spend taxpayer fucking dollars on that instead of anything that's going to help the people? It's all a fucking random ass distraction.
Ted Cruz is one of the worst people.
Run it back. He wants to do what?
He wants to launch a probe, he called it, into Anheuser-Busch using Dylan Mulvaney, a trans woman, as she didn't even do a campaign, by the way. She didn't do like an ad for Budweiser.
He wants a government investigation into Bud Light over the Dylan Mulvaney thing.
Over that single
why?
That single Instagram post.
Social media post. That was it.
It's like they're purely the Republican Party, like what their politics are, what they identify buffoonery, right? Like buffoonery in the name of bigotry. I'm telling you, it's just a game of who can be the most fucking batshit about this bigotry. Like, oh, you think you crazy? You think you'd burn this bridge down? I'll burn it while I'm standing on it. That's just a game of who's the worst. That's what they're doing. Who's crazy?
Which is why,
you know what? Let him do this. I mean, you know, I mean, there's nothing in terms of the Ted Cruz stuff and not the DeSantis stuff. I'm not talking policies here. Let them continue with the rhetoric. Let them continue with the bravado. Let them continue focusing on talking about these issues because time and time again, it just happened just this past week on Tuesday when there were all these local elections all over the country. Republicans lost again repeating last year with the midterms, because they are focused on these issues that most normal people are saying this is fucking ridiculous. This past week, there was elections, local elections, and there was a mayor race in Jacksonville, Florida, that a Democrat won. I saw that in Colorado Springs. I think it was Colorado Springs. The first Democrat won in like 60 years or something like that.
Since 1942 or something like that.
Yeah, it's the mayor race.
My math sucks, even though I'm Indian. I'm sorry, but like, you know.
I mean, these are losing issues for them. It is, they're doing this to bolster themselves within the party because someone like DeSantis wants to be president, but the average American does not care.
And that's facts. And you're absolutely right? But here's the unfortunate part, right? Republicans know they can't win based on popularity because changing tides. That's why they do so much to try to suppress what, we're seeing in the media and what's happening in the schools and stuff, because they're hoping to try to re-unexpose people to shit or whatever they want to switch the tides. But they know they can't win that way, which is why they gerrymander. That's why they disenfranchise people. That's why they fucking take the court. And unfortunately now, the way they have the Supreme Court is, it really is doomsday for LGBT people. Like, that's just the thing. Like, that's not hyperbole. I don't just mean that like as a regular person. I mean that like as a lawyer, and it's just the truest sense of the facts. Like, when Roe got overturned and they made it clear they was coming for Griswold, it was everything that's happened is the direct result of that, and they're coming. And the problem is when you have a fucking Supreme Court, a body of people with a handful of folk that have lifetime appointments and are there forever, like, they have the ability to do real serious damage for a long time. And there are a whole lot of LGBT people like that will be their lifetime. That will be their lifetime, like whatever happens now.
I do like how Ole said, I don't mean this as a regular person, I mean this as a lawyer.
Are we civilians? Are we all civilians?
I was about to say something. I was like, oh, yo, I just yell into a mic all the day. Never mind, I'll shut up.
No, because I want to be clear. Because sometimes, like, there are things that, like, the culture is outraged about online or whatever. But yeah, I feel you in cultural piece. But I know, like, legally, a whole different set of things.
Yeah.
In terms of LGBT rights, no, it's as bad as it looks and feels. Like online. It's not bad. It's as bad as you think, unfortunately.
That's why, I mean, part of the solution has to be a stronger Democratic Party as well. Because, I mean, Florida's a great example of just a weak-ass Democratic Party. They ran Charlie Crist last time, who's, like, been in every party, lost every election. Like there's got to be some better ground game in these states to fight back against this shit. Because if, we're just sitting here complaining about, like, it's not, there needs to be, I mean, obviously activists are doing what they can, but unless there's stronger political power, it's really hard to get any traction against any of this.
They're running a lot of national figureheads in places where you need they're running a lot of national figureheads in local elections, and Republicans are running a lot of fringe figureheads in national elections, right? And that's just like when you run, like, I mean, it's been said over and over again, like fucking electoral Twitter or whatever. Like, when you have a fringe candidate, they're gonna fucking kill that primary. But as soon as it gets into the national election cycle, it becomes problematic, right? You saw them take fringe ideas and really push them in 2022 on a national stage, and they just did not work for a wave, And I think, especially like everything that Matt was saying about all of the elections that they lost, them losing elections right now, like those special elections, is a fucking huge deal. Like the year before an election year, when you have all of this stuff going on about who's going to be the Republican nominee, them losing elections is not a good look. And it's like we said before, like people are exhausted. The culture war is exhausting. Nobody wants to be fucking worrying. Nobody wants to have to watch their trans friends have to go through all this shit, right? And nobody wants to actively be involved in politics. I'm forced to be involved in it because of my skin color and what exists around us, right? Nobody's like fucking raring to go. Like nobody wanted to be involved in their ASB elections, but if your ASB in high school was like, well, black people can't use the water fountain, then yeah, you're gonna be fucking involved in that side of things. It's I don't know, man. It's tiring a lot of people out, and I think it's gonna backfire on a lot of Republicans because of it.
Even if it doesn't play well in elections, I think pundits have still realized that they make a ton of money from all this shit too, right? Like this entire endless media cycle, from the Steven Crowders to the Matt Walshes to all these people, they're just obsessed with trans people. Like they will not stop making videos, commentary, all this stuff on trans people over and over and over. But like, I think what is really like what maybe the midterm showed more than anything is that like their actions, such as like, taking away half the population's bodily autonomy, for example, that drives voters. Like that gets people energized. If you're not like, they're going so ghoulish so fast right now. It just seems like, what else are you offering? What else is there to come from the right?
I know that they won't tire themselves out, though. That much I know, because I once witnessed them on a little day called January 6th. Scale walls where there was stairs. So that being said, I know a resilient people when I see them, and they will keep pushing on. Like,
I feel like we should rewatch that video in honor of Tears of the Kingdom launching, of them scaling the wall and falling. That was, oh my god, that lives in my head rent free.
Was it like a game over? Like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it had like a stamina bar, and they're climbing up the wall, and then they fall, and then it comes to the game over. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, it is exhausting, honestly, and I think that everyone is correct that they're kind of like, they're in a sense somewhat radicalizing the normies, because like people who wouldn't necessarily tune into politics feel like they have to be hyper aware of the situation just because it's gotten so toxic. Just like, for example, like my family has a trans member, I'm a gay member, and so like people who don't even follow the news, like they're asking me about what's going on. None of them watch my fucking show, so yeah. But anyways, they're like asking like, what's going on? Like, is this happening in Oregon? How does this affect us? And like people with trans friends, like as Zed was saying, with LGBTQ plus friends, people who are affected by this, people who want bodily autonomy, like they're paying attention. So I do think it will backfire. The only unfortunate thing is that like as they do this, like it does do real harm, unfortunately. But I do agree it will backfire.
But the other thing you have to also understand is, like, again, if we're talking about people being exhausted by this and being normal, like in a social setting, I know, again, from Irvine, I know a lot of people who are fucking, to be honest, pretty fucking bigoted against my race, who will be 100% cordial and would 100% have issues if when shit like the Muslim ban came up, right? Because they know someone. Like, it's not like this detached specter. It's like, bro, what's going on with you, right? And you have people, and it immediately flips people. If you're double, tripling, quadrupling down on like trans people, and you live in a city and somebody walks in who's trans into your place of work and everything like that, most people are going to be cordial, because at least to my, like, I mean, unless they're really fucking bigoted, or they'll feel awkward. Like the amount they're trying to, most people, like they're radicalizing people who have severe depression, severe anxiety, severe fear of all of these things, right? In a chronically online environment. And I also hope I'm not overstepping the line with what I'm saying, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think,
I think you are right, but I think y'all are correct, right? That they are mobilizing, obviously they have the counterfact. That's why so many people didn't vote for Joe Biden. They voted against Trump, right? Like, that's true. Of course, they're mobilizing a fuck ton of people. That's why Gen Z is so politically active. Now, here is the other side of this. Forget that. They have emboldened a whole group of white supremacists are dangerous. They're gun-toting, violent, ready to end it all. Dangerous people. What do we see in common with these mass shooters, these manifestos, this is the next thing? They're dangerous. So it's about what one side is willing to do. Now, you could have a real energized, intellectually, politically active, armed with their books bunch, like we are. And then the other side that's mobilized want to kill people. So I think that's also something to take in consideration. So yes, I do think they'll bring this out. So what becomes also a disconnect too is, yes, there is this whole side of the spectrum, all us that are mobilized, but then there's so much discontent between what the options are. There are a whole lot of people that are mobilized actively one way that are not motivated in terms of what the political system is currently, and blah, blah, blah. And so while, and for different legitimate reasons, well, while all that's happening on our side and we figured it out and we exchanging books and we trying to figure out messaging and we trying to get on the same page and we trying to, over there, they're planning militias. They are planning witches and coups, and they want to take people out the game. They got shooters. They passing laws. They stripping rights. They stacking courts. So yeah.
And then,
well, do you think that? Maybe I should ask this. Like, do you guys think that like the left side, like, do you think the left doesn't prioritize his theory a lot when we should prioritize active steps in the political process more?
I don't. I think it's that. I think it's a lot of different things, because I don't think it's that we prioritize theory too much. I think you can feel that way on the internet. There's a lot on the internet and on certain like leftist communities and certain leftist local spaces. It can feel very much so like that. I don't think that is in real life. I think a lot of what is our mistake is we talk a lot about, like, people are always trying to appeal to this imaginary centrist, right? I feel like people, they try to appeal so much to a centrist in a time and period where the people that are really politically activated, like Gen Z, these people that are really motivated, feel strongly. They have strong views, one cap or whatever. And why are you trying to appeal to the person you think you need to appeal to, that everybody, that you appeal to nobody? And then there are all these people, and why are you trying to get them? There are all these people that are not going to turn out, who would if they felt like you were giving them something more salient, but you out here trying to kowtow to a centrist that isn't really
really about it.
Exactly. I think that's it.
And one thing I also wanted to say or emphasize about what said too is that, like, it's the bigotry and the cis people that are causing things like anxiety and depression amongst trans people too, right? Like that's one aspect of all this. They're making their lives scarier on a regular basis. They all of these pundits, all of these fucking bigots, all of these ghouls on a regular basis, all the like unscientific lies that they fucking spew for money, for fucking cash. They're doing this for fucking as a job. This is their fucking living.
And I think that's also something, and that's why I wish like more people would just say that, like, to use like right-wing people instead, just like stop engaging them on the merits. Is like they're bald heads. They don't believe the shit that they're saying. That's why it doesn't matter to them when you point out the hypocrisy. Like, this is what makes it such a freeing and like lucrative endeavor, because it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It don't matter without you. I'm here to cause shit. I'm here. I got an agenda. They tell me what to say. I'm here. I just got to do it. And that's what they're there for. They don't believe it. They don't believe it. How many of them? Oh, no vaccines. Vaccinated. The first people vaccinated at work. Vaccinated. I know a lot of these people, like, in real life. Like, I've been on shows with them, and when they live a whole different fucking life. You sit at lunch with them, and they believe a different thing. They believe a different thing, and I'm like,
it's not
sustainable.
I'm curious now.
But bro, it's not sustainable. The things that people like Shapiro and Crowder will tell you, it's not sustainable to live the way they preach on their show. Like, even in their business decision, even in their decisions in life for their platform, for them to get their platform, there's a disconnect. I heard Ben Shapiro. So Ben Shapiro likes to talk a lot about how rap isn't music, and how his father is a musician. And he once said, like, why isn't rap music? And he's like, well, because music has pitches and rap does not. And I was going to fucking slap something. It's the dumbest fucking answer I have ever heard. If his father is a musician, he's a fucking terrible musician. Because, like, first off, drums are percussion, but you tune a drum kit to a fucking note, to a pitch. And if you're that fucking dumb and you're gonna say that, like, this isn't like a logic profit, like, it's just an objectively wrong, like, mathematical fucking fact that's like, what are you fucking doing?
They just be saying shit.
Bro. Well, to be fair, like, Ben Shapiro is somebody who thinks that dry P word is his wife being pleasured. So, I mean, his opinions on everything else, take it with a grain of salt.
Notice how there's no successful dumbass leftists, but everyone on the right is a dumbass. And it's because of the money behind them. Like, Ben Shapiro can say all the dumb shit he wants, and he's never going to lose an audience because he has the money behind. Like, meanwhile, if you have someone on the left that says something like just dumb over and over and over again,
there's a lot of money on the right.
They're going to lose people, right?
It's because it's easy to be on the right. You don't have to fact check. And I'm being like, that sounds like a joke, but I'm being very very serious in a very serious way. Like, everything I write, like, as a black person, for you to write. It has to be an op-ed, the most cited, factually checked fucking op-ed. Every fucking word has to be. They will not let you say your opinion. Everything has to be cited to death. Meanwhile, they just on the right saying whatever the fuck. They're like, oh, pigs gave us COVID. Everybody's shaking. That's why the president is a robot. The election was stolen.
But that's their entertainment industry. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like it's 100% an entertainment. Like the same mechanisms that run like right-wing media run like Hollywood and all of these other things. Like you need the same. Like somebody could lose their job right now during the writer's strike doing social media and make fucking all that money back doing something for a right-wing candidate that they fucking hate. Because it's very easy, not that they're going to do that, but I'm saying like the same mechanisms run that. They wanted to create an alternate entertainment sphere for that to work. And I think we all know that. I think the other thing about it is that it's an underserved community. I mean, like we all know, like Fox News is the number one television channel, like period, point blank. But saying you're the number one television channel in the age of streaming and fucking YouTube and content is not saying like it's not boding well for the future of your when everybody is transitioning. Even fucking Tucker, when he was like fucking leaving Fox News, was like, I would rather put this on YouTube. I would rather put this here. I would rather put this here because there's no digital presence. Every personality who has been bounced from that channel, and by the way, there are plenty of personalities that are bounced from left-wing channels and everything like that who make tons. Hasanabi was bounced off Young Turks and he fucking made a shit ton of money, right? Like people who get bounced from those channels have an avenue because new media is there for them. People who get bounced from Fox News, fucking Bill O'Reilly, Megyn Kelly, they're not making money hand over fist like they used to. They're not having the same impact that they used to. They have impact. They're scary, but they're not having that impact, right? Because they haven't built that. Exactly. Fucking who was the fucking crazy lady?
Tucker's got a show coming out on Twitter soon. That's what he transferred to. Yeah.
Well, but also look at Tommy Lahren. I don't know what Tommy Lahren is doing these days, but I don't hear about her name.
I don't hear much anymore. Yeah.
I haven't heard about her in a a while too. Yeah,
she was on Fox Nation, but I don't know where she is.
But that's the thing. She was crushing. She was crushing online. She was crushing. She was like, remember that whole fucking like the Gary V, like we're all getting on Instagram, we're all building content, like fucking she was ahead of that. She had merch, she got off the Blaze, she's like, I'm not going Glenn Beck shit anymore, and then she got offered a contract on Fox Nation and she disappeared into the ether, and we haven't fucking heard from her, you know, like because the ecosystem is not built for that.
That's a really good point. Yeah, because I can't remember.
Yeah, what happened to her at the end? Tell me the running back said. You spinning. Tell me that again. What happened in the end?
What happened to her in the end? She had merch. She had she left the Blaze. She's like, I'm not on Glenn Beck shit anymore. And then she went to Fox Nation and she just disappeared into the ether. It's fucking nothing.
Because no one watches Fox Nation.
She tried to. But like that's the thing. She tried to.
Your audience is too old. They're not online. Like that's the thing.
I think that's
they're just not there.
A lot of people make. Like they want to switch over. A lot of these shows, like what are the views? These networks, like you will be shocked. Like people don't watch the fucking news and mainstream TV and all these things. Like a lot of these shows, these online, like that's where are getting way more views than these networks and stuff are getting. And so people will go and instead of building up their own, like, you know, their social media, their actual platform and their own thing, they rush to go on one of these places, and then it kills them after a while when those places, because those places also don't have a realistic expectation of what kind of like what you can bring, because the reality is a lot of these platforms are siloed. You could have these kind of followers on Twitter, but that does not mean you're going to get them on YouTube immediately. But these networks do not have an understanding of that, so they come and bring these content creators with this fine expect them. They give you this money or whatever, this deal based on that, the understanding, the expectation you're going to bring exactly the following you had online, and when it isn't that, they dump them, and now you're fucked. You didn't have the momentum of your own platform. Ciao.
Can I say one thing? I worked at before I got on the Phillips show, I was fucking broke at the beginning of the year, and then I got a job at Apple Music doing social media. I was super fucking hype about it, and I got to do social media for a lot of crazy people. And one thing you learn about social media marketing versus TV marketing is if you work in TV marketing, you have to pray you fucking make up the numbers well enough, because there's no attributable metrics in TV marketing for conversions. So motherfuckers, like, still right now are spending shit tons of money on advertising on Fox and everything like that and losing it. Here's another fun fact. You know, the other platform, digital platform, where people are spending a ton of fucking money and just fucking losing it? Twitter. Twitter is like a negative ROI platform for everyone.
Look at Binder light up right now. He's like, this is my channel. I've heard this shit, motherfuckers. I'm ready to pop off.
I've heard the same thing. Yeah, I mean, with TV,
my name. Dude, sorry, can I say one thing, Matt?
No, go ahead. No, please, go ahead.
Bro, okay. Do you remember when Elon, I'm not going to name names. Do you remember when Elon was like, hey, Apple is boycotting Twitter because of blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right. I am not confirming or denying that I was in a conversation, but I will say that if Apple doesn't want to use Twitter, it's because it doesn't fucking make them any money, and they fucking hate doing it. And everybody in social media, it is an open secret that Twitter fucking sucks. And everybody, not only at Apple, but a ton of fucking companies, unless you're fucking Wendy's, is like, yo, why don't we just put our money in TikTok? Because it makes us twice as much. And then when TikTok gets banned, we'll put our money in Instagram. It's not that you're doing culture war ribbing bullshit, sure, but like, you just don't make money. Nobody wants to fucking buy a product from a tweet. People will buy a product from TikTok. People want to know about your personality from a tweet. If you work in video games or in politics or in news, fucking Twitter is your bread and butter. But if you work in music, if you work in food, if you work in any of the commodities industries in America and you're advertising on Twitter, just burn your fucking money and tweet normally. Like, it doesn't make any. I'm sorry. I'm fucking.
No, I mean, I've heard all these. I've heard all these same things. There's absolutely, and it's great to hear it from someone obviously who has that background. I've heard all these
may or may not have that background. May or may not.
Well, may or may not
have been in that meeting.
All right,
yes.
right. Yeah. But I mean, listen, with like you said, with TV, there's no conversion metrics. You can't tell, that this many people bought this product from this specific commercial spot. A lot of them just do it for the brand value of, this commercial playing during this really big show, and that means something to them, even if they can't make the comparison to it equaled this many sales. But the same thing's not the case with online advertising. You can actually tell where the conversions come from and how you're getting your money, and Twitter has historically been a really bad place for that for most advertisers.
It's also the most behind platform in terms of like all of the stuff that Elon Musk is doing. Like, if you look at the design language of Twitter, it just doesn't serve anything. Let's take everything away from his blue check and all that shit like that, right? Just the basic of like the design language of the platform is not built for like he said that you can upload like 2 hours worth of like movies right now on there.
Right.
Bro, already on Twitter, the stuff that he wants, like content like that, where people have videos that they want to post or like giant threads with like informative stuff, that exists on Twitter. It's just not intuitive for you to use. Again, from the esports space, when new games come out, the entire competitive league for that is like on Twitter, and they're sharing information. Do you know how fucking hard it is to find Twitter information, to find a tweet from like a year ago? Do you know how fucking long it takes? I don't have that kind of time, bro. I have a job. I've news to freestyle. I'm not gonna fucking look through Twitter for like an hour for one fucking tweet from some guy. Like one guy, something like.
Do not laugh. I feel like you know how.
No. I wanted to ask Zed this. Did you know that when Elon Musk said that there was a 2-hour limit, someone just was like, you know what, fuck it, and then just posted Shrek 3.
Shrek the Third. Yeah. Shrek the Third. Yeah.
Went off swinging.
Bro,
and
like,
you didn't even need to wait for the 2 hours, because a couple of weeks ago, people were uploading the Super Mario Brothers movie in full, but split up into like multiple chunks because it wasn't fitting in one upload. I mean, Twitter is not a video platform, no matter how badly he wants it to be. Like Tucker Carlson leaving $25 million to upload a video on Twitter. Like, what the hell is wrong with him? Twitter is not a video platform. It's the one video platform that doesn't pay you. Why would you upload a video there? Why would you upload a video there? There's no video. there's no video player. There's no video playback options. It doesn't save where you left off.
It doesn't save your position. Yeah.
It doesn't buffer. There's no buffering. I don't know if you guys realize this, but when a video is uploaded on Twitter, and like maybe like the first 5 seconds when you play it, the quality will be absolute garbage crap shit. It looks like, but if you rewind it, guess what? It still plays back the same garbage because there's no buffering on Twitter. There's no buffering on it. On YouTube, on Facebook, you could rewind, and guess what? All that data, they needed to download that. That's why it showed up looking like shit at first. But then it downloads the data, and when you rewind it, it has that data for you now, and it looks good. Twitter does not buffer. It does not download the data in advance. So those 5 seconds in the beginning will always and forever to look like shit.
Get up like that? Why?
Because it's not a video platform.
It's not a video platform.
So why don't they fix it though? Because I upload videos on Twitter.
Because the issue is, I don't know why they don't fix it, but like I feel like, dude, it's funny that you say that. I'm gonna answer all that in a second, but it's funny that you say that. Every time I upload a video clip of Freestyle the News, it desyncs. Like it fucking desyncs by like a half second.
Yeah.
It's so fucking annoying. And like, and the other thing is like the proper way to the format to upload to video for like the most possible clairvoyant like return is supposed to be you upload a video and then you put the link in the comment below or the comment above, right? The conversion rate for Twitter for videos in general is like dog shit. It's dog shit. And the reason is I think the reason they do it, Ole, is because they want to keep the scroll going. They don't want you to have to like buffer
that makes
video.
sense.
They want you to keep want to keep the scroll going. But the thing is that TikTok is TikTok much more sophisticated, like in terms of like I'm not gonna fucking get into the Chinese shit right now, like Communist Party stuff, but like it's a much more sophisticated platform in general, even Instagram Reels, because what it'll do is it'll buffer the first like 10 videos you have. So like if you lose internet while you're scrolling TikTok, you have another like 10 videos you can fucking look on TikTok before you stop being able to watch videos, because it's buffering ahead of what you've already seen, right? So because the videos are, I guess, like very low bit rate. The videos are 720p and we're in like a 4K 1080 world, right? But Twitter will let you upload high quality stuff, but won't buffer. Like will buffer while you're doing it. And so a lot of videos will be like slow, but they want you to be able to like scroll past and then all of a sudden you see a video playing and you stop and you want to watch it. There's the merit to that. But like if you stop and want to watch a video and then all of a sudden it turns into like something that you're playing on a potato, it doesn't really fucking help.
Yeah, no, that's facts. No, that's big facts.
Also, Twitter's how they count views is so unbelievably ridiculous.
They stopped showing views, didn't they? They don't.
No, they still have views.
They show views. So
So
if you're scrolling through your feed, and a tweet with a video shows up in your feed, and it autoplays for 2 seconds, that counts as a view on that video. If you're scrolling,
with
2 seconds, yes. For Twitter, yes, it's 2 seconds. That's not. I know you got a smiling face because you know that's well below the average.
YouTube, it's 10. TikTok, it's 3.
And TikTok is specifically short form video, where YouTube, Twitter, not necessarily.
Like that sounds ridiculous, but 3 to 2 is like a huge fucking differential in terms of like counting a view.
But wait, there's more. It will also count a view if you're scrolling. The autoplay goes, you scroll past the video, you don't have any interest in it, but you stop on like a tweet below it to read it. If more than 50% of the video player is still viewable on your screen, it counts that as a video view as well.
The comments are saying that your mic is doing leftist audio stuff again, Matt.
Again? What the hell?
Yeah.
Right, 1 second.
That's a good point you made, though, yes.
Yeah, it was a great point.
It is wild what they constitute as a view.
Mike, can you share some of the popcorn you're making with your microphone? That'd be great.
All right.
I love how like immediate. Yeah. As soon as you start talking, I just see the comment leftist audio.
I don't get why that's happening. I guess
just in time for the end of the show. It's 10:30 now.
It's either Matt or me who has the fucked up audio.
No, I still got 30 minutes left. We got super chats, guys.
Yeah, it actually kept him this time
to,
on the side.
Stick around for that.
Oh, enjoy that.
This was a great show with a great guest.
But yes,
thank you, man. I was so worried. I was like pissing you guys off, man. I really appreciate it.
No, you were great.
You pissed a lamp at that one time, but that's okay.
First of all, he did not piss me off.
No, I love the vibe. She was right though.
He made me interested. Y'all are interpreting it in the wrong way.
No, I loved your vibe. I loved everybody's vibe on here, man. I was very, very appreciative of it, and I'm like flattered you guys like even like my shit or even considered listening to me, and yeah, man. Thank you guys. I'd love to come
don't let it go to your head. Don't let it go. You're not that good. No, just joking.
Although I will say, Binder over there,
fucking beef album coming out soon too.
Listen, I've listened. I've studied the Macho Man Randy Savage Hulk Hogan diss song. Don't make me use my my skills.
Shit!
I kind of want to though.
Somebody having the most obscure ass jokes, and I'd be like,
Mr. Blazing Hazen over here.
For weeks now, I'm like, do y'all get it? Y'all just be. I gotta have like, y'all. Where are these references?
Matt, next time I'm on, Matt's gonna just be in a Tom McDonald cosplay, trying to give me shit.
You know what? No joke. You know what just was recommended on my Twitter For You feed right now? It's been up for about 3 hours. The Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie in full just showed up on my For You feed.
Wait, what?
Recommended tweet
on a recommended For You.
Yeah, you get the good shit. I get like fucking Matt Walsh and like Shapiro on mine.
Said that they watched over the hedge on Twitter.
Your two options are Snuff Film or Into the Spider-Verse. Or
yeah, and animal snuff films.
Yeah. Before you go, one more time, plug your stuff, Zed. And by the way, I saw a comment that said that Zed carried this show. So good job. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Taking over the Leftist Mafia.
So yeah, like please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@ZedTabani. One thing that I do want to plug, if you guys are down to really come through on Saturday, we have this thing called Too Soon Crew, which is kind of like my Patreon kind of thing, right? So we have a bunch of merch and everything like there, and we promised to do extra videos, and the thing we're doing every month is a live show, like with me and other musical guests, and we do a Q&A where we talk about like news and shit like that. So that Saturday is our first version of that, and we have Mega Ran, who's like a fucking incredible Surf knows him, like Lance knows him. He's like, it's fucking incredible artist.
He's amazing.
Really, he's fucking great, dude. And we both rap about video games. We both talk a lot about like politics and intersectionality and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be like sets around that. So that's gonna be dope. The first month of that Patreon thing is like free. So if you guys want to just fucking check out what like a fucking live show is like and get free % off merch and shit, just sign up for that at toosooncrew.com. And you can just come watch us fucking do a show. And if you want to stick around, you can. If not, you can be like, oh yeah, that's me on a fucking stool because I couldn't on a fucking step ladder because if you didn't have a stool and I had to record my thing that day. So yeah, and I have the fucking my shoes look like those big red fucking like Astro Boot. Those like Astro Boy shoes they released like a fucking couple weeks ago and people get their
oh yeah.
feet out. Yeah, that's not that, but it looks like it. And so yeah, if you guys are down to come through, it'd be great. You'll get to hear some of my other music. But yeah. Hit me up on YouTube. Hit me up on Spotify and everything like that. And yeah, man. This week's episode is gonna be really fun. I'm fucking really excited for it. And hopefully next week we're gonna start doing more than one freestyle of the news a week. So there'll be like a daily freestyle of the news, like 2 days of the week, and it'll be exhausting, but it'll be really really fun. And so. Yeah, man, I'm just flattered,
awesome.
Man. I'm just flattered you guys like it, dude. It's weird to be like a liked rapper. It's weird. It's good to be a video game rapper, but like for my political stuff it's really flattering, man. So thank you guys so much.
Nice.
You're so wholesome.
Thank you for coming on.
I know, right?
Thank you.
Wholesome content.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I talk a lot of shit. When people fucking say shit to me, I talk a lot of shit. So I'm wholesome now, but you just wait.
Not subtle threats.
No, not to you. Not to you. Got a lot of blue checks. A lot of blue checks.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Right?
No,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Enjoy
I don't care. I don't care. I'm a salaried rapper. What the fuck are they gonna do? Like, I won, dude. Like, what the fuck?
That's true. That's
Oh,
true. Fuck, that's the best possible outlook. Yeah.
Fucking
Mhm.
You
just got the cash sitting on the table.
Yeah. You just have cash lying on the
Fuck outta
table.
here. Anyway.
All right.
All right, guys.
Bye, y'all.
All right, bye,
Bye,
y'all.
everybody.
Love y'all. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we're not going
All right.
anywhere, folks, because we
No,
got
we-
super chats.
We're
Super
stuck
chats
here.
with the Beardy Bros. Although I feel like I don't get super chats. Should I still be here? It feels normal to be
can-
here.
I
You can
just want
help
to say,
answer. Actually,
really,
I saw
really,
some questions that were geared towards both of us, Mike. So,
Oh, okay.
really quick though, our guest today has more YouTube subscribers than I do. So
subscribe
please
to
go
Matt Binder,
YouTube.
people. Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm literally less than 100 subscribers away from 30,000. Can we get
Come
me
on,
to the
folks.
round, beautiful 30,000 number tonight?
YouTube.com/Matt Binder.
Yeah,
You can do it.
that's right.
Subscribe
Let's do it.
immediately.
Let's
Do
do it. I got there's some debates I did this week. One with Doug Lane about the Twitter files, which was crazy, and then an even crazier one with Bad
Wait, he was
Empanada.
defending the Twitter files?
Yes, he's a
Who's-
big Taibbi guy now.
Doug Lane.
Doug
I don't
Lane, formerly of
I feel like I haven't seen him since
Zero
like
Books.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't
Oh,
watched his
Zero
stuff for a
Books.
couple years.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Formerly of Zero Books. He's not there anymore. I
Okay.
suspect probably because his politics, but he's not there anymore.
okay. It's okay.
Hmm.
I mean,
I'll
I
have to
want to
check
ask if
that
he's
out.
getting paid. Like, I don't understand how people who are otherwise intelligent fall down that dumbass shit. But
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he's like a legit guy and he's
Yeah.
smart, but
that's
you know,
bizarre to me.
it's propaganda, man. It gets everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, first super chat here. They are working today. Look at this. Thoughts on Alberta Premier breach of Conflict of Interest Act by interfering with the ongoing trial of a COVID convoy protester by calling him and the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General to discuss his case. So this is a very. This is
I have a lot
detailed
to
thing.
say about this. No.
Yeah. Mike, you go first. So the only, I mean, I'm on and off with Canadian politics. I don't follow a lot of what happens in Alberta. I did listen to Canadaland had a really good breakdown on this, but I listened to that like a month ago. I haven't followed this closely. I just hope the NDP candidate wins, even though Rachel Notley isn't the greatest NDP candidate. But in terms of the alternative here, let's hope this is the end of this Alberta premier. But we're gonna have to see. This is, I believe, for you, Binder.
Oh, is it? Let me see.
Behinder.
Oh, Behinder. In honor of your quote unquote debate with Bad and Pinata. Yeah, that was something else. Everyone should go check that one out too. That was.
I watched a little bit of it. It was a little bit spicy.
Maybe one of the most bad faith. As someone who debates right wingers, that was probably one of the most bad faith debates I've ever had. Yeah, he literally just wanted to use me as like, and he admitted it too. He wanted to just use me as like a, I don't even know what word I'm looking for. As like a
platform,
a fill-in for like just like this like fake American that he thought I was, that I wasn't. Like he just tried to like portray me as something, it's like a made up person in his mind. It was very weird.
Weirdos. Here's also for you.
It's for me too.
Yeah.
Oh, Zayed, you did well. That was for him actually. He's not here. That's too bad. But it's from Crispy said, "You did it for years without anyone watching, and that's just proof that it's not what you can do; it's who you can do it with." Oh, it's too bad he's not here to hear that. Okay, we'll get it.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Lee says, "So, are you going to address Blair's behavior?"
Oh my god, I saw that all night in the chat. I didn't want to bring I don't want to talk about that shit when we have a guest here.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know, we're transparent, and so I guess we'll mention it really fast right now. I still have not looked into it.
Okay, well there you go. I watched a few videos. I watched Blair's video. I watched a couple responses. So look, let's be clear here.
It's bad.
I don't know. Well, I don't know her apart from this show. Just so we're all under that understanding. I don't think it looks good for her. She's been gone for a couple weeks, so we're gonna have to see what the hell goes on with the rest of this. But yeah, I don't think it looks good.
Yeah, and
that's my impression.
Can I also? I just want to say real quick. There was a lot of people who were like mad that we haven't addressed it. Blair kind of exists on a different side of the internet. So like I watched her response video a couple of weeks ago and I don't know any of the people involved. So like this takes time for us to educate ourselves. We're not familiar with the people here. We've known Blair for like 6 months and she's a lovely person, but we haven't like talked about this privately. So like we're not necessarily privy to all this. Like when I watched her response video initially, that was the first time learning that it was more than like the Legal Eagle stuff, because I thought that the whole drama like started and ended with the Legal Eagle stuff, which I thought that she handled poorly, but I thought it was great that she like addressed it and apologized. I didn't know that there was like that opened the floodgates to all these other things. And so she responded to all of these folks and then they responded as well. And I watched like a summary video that somebody did and these seem like they're pretty fair. And I think that she needs to address it again, because a lot of this is very bad. It's not a good look. And I'm not really sure how we haven't talked about this privately, so we'll have to figure it out. But like, we're trying to educate ourselves, people. We don't know everyone involved, but it does look really bad, if I'm being honest.
There are very confused people in the chat, and I am one of those very confused people. Can you give me a quick summary of what?
I mean, the basic, I mean, essentially people that she worked with, she mistreated. There was one person who she again, this is from what I have seen. I obviously was not there, but kind of controlled their life, like every aspect of their life. And it was kind of hard for them to, I don't know, like get out of that in a way. The thing is that there's so many layers to it that it's hard for me to like. I watched like, was it like 40 minutes altogether on this shit? Actually, no, including her video, probably like an hour. And it's not like, so generally like
deep as hell.
Yeah. Generally I care more about like what people output in terms of what they present. Like there was an allegation of a plagiary. She addressed that and that's not true. So there are things that weren't true that were claims. But essentially there's like 4 people who worked with her who aren't even friends, those 4 people, and it's 4 versus 1. So
yeah,
it's just
it's like employee mistreatment or something like that is the main thrust of it.
It's like there's a multitude of things. Like a lot of it is interpersonal. Like it seems like there's spats about, oh well, this person is sloppy in their living space. Like I don't care about that. But there's
I don't care. Yeah.
There's certain things that like are bigger than what I initially thought that I wasn't privy to. So it's a very complex, multi-dimensional drama, and I'm just learning about it, people. So you've got to give me time, okay? I'm trying.
I haven't internalized most of the points. I know there was what she publicized, like someone's mental health issues without them, like obviously allowing her to do that. So it's a lot of personal drama, but it's personal drama that doesn't look good. But again, we have to talk to everybody else. So this is not like
we shouldn't like
something that
right
that we have
and
really addressed.
These are allegations, though, right? Or what are we? Has
I mean, there's allegations and like
there's allegations and evidence. I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. Like I can't remember the name of the guy. He did a response video that basically kind of like. He brought receipts to things that she alleged in her video. And like based on his perspective, it looks like she misrepresented him. So it's a lot. Okay. It's overwhelming. And I'm trying to,
I think she's going to have to address this again if she's going to be able to get over this. Like there's a lot there.
Yeah. The click. That's what I was referring to. Yeah.
All right. No, I'm glad we talked this through right now, because there are a lot of people who've been asking in our chat for weeks now, and I think, we do that. We owe it to our audience to talk about these things. I don't think Blair would hear this and think we're being unfair just talking about it. And I guess we'll figure things out.
Yeah, and let me just say as well, I feel really bad for the mods, because some of the mods were like, hey, they want to know if you want to address this, and I've been telling the mods like. I am trying to figure out like what's happening, because I thought that it was just like over, but it's not. So please don't like lambast the mods for us not addressing it or whatever, because the mods are trying their best.
I just assumed because of, she's a pretty big YouTuber who's not like a straight up politics YouTuber, and there's a whole like world of like parasocial relationships and drama when it comes to those YouTubers. I just assumed there was some sort of YouTuber drama, and that type of stuff I have zero.
Yeah,
less than zero interest in.
Yep.
That's why I didn't watch any of these
really-
videos, or that's why I didn't get into any of this stuff until like this past week, because I just saw comment after comment, like, oh my god, fine, I'll like look at this boring.
It's like it got so big that we couldn't really like ignore it, because it's like, for me, I automatically dismiss it because I don't even follow drama that goes on in our circles a lot of the time. But like, I have to learn about people I've never heard about. That's true. That's true. To be fair,
and there's just like there's so much bad face shit that has been thrown at people like over the. It's just so it's easy to just be like, all right, whatever.
Right.
But because I'm not in that world, it's hard to even know how big something really is because I don't have any context. I don't follow anybody in that world. It's completely foreign to me. So it's just
like people were throwing like names out there like The Click, Bad Milk. Like I'm supposed to know what any of that means.
Yeah,
like, I don't know these people.
I don't know those people.
I don't know.
I've never heard of Sad Milk until this whole drama started, and I've got to say that's like the worst. Like, I thought Humanist Report was a bad name for a podcast. Sad Milk is by far the worst name ever, and I heard it, and I'm like, oh my god, I hate all these people for that name. Blair too. No, I'm just kidding.
Like I saw recently like someone say,
Ole's in the same boat as us. Okay,
yeah, the exact same boat. Don't put this on Ole.
I don't think, except for Lance, I don't think any of us really were familiar with Illuminati's channel, her work generally, until she came on Leftist Mafia.
Yeah, no, I know it.
If you go back to the very first episode, the election stream, kind of like episode 0 of Leftist Mafia, we were meeting Blair for the first time, and
I wasn't even on when Blair was on. I missed her completely.
No, you were. She was still there.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Met her first time on the first episode of this. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, because she was there for the whole stream. I'm pretty sure. But like, she's been nothing but pleasant to us. So I mean, there's going to be that bias there, right? Because it's like, I've known her and she's been nothing but lovely to me. So it's like, is this just more drama and noise online, or is it something bigger? And yeah, it's a lot, people, and we're trying. So please give us like,
we're doing our best here.
Yeah. Also, people could change, and
yes, absolutely.
Like
this is
whatever
stuff
decision
that happened apparently like years ago, at least a couple years ago. So actually, well, one's like more recent, so maybe not. But it's hard. Again, I feel bad even saying too much without her addressing the new stuff.
That's the thing, yeah.
Like that's so it's hard to even know. Here's a good question for me and you, Mike. How far into Zelda Tears of the Kingdom are you all? Is it better than you thought it would be? So how many hours have you played? Like, no spoilers here.
I'm
like,
actually hurt that you wouldn't ask me this question as well. What an assumption.
Are you playing it?
Wow. No,
you didn't. We talked about this last week. You didn't say shit.
So I have all but 2 of the towers unlocked for the overworld map.
Where do you find this time?
I mean, to be fair, I haven't really played the main story a lot. Like, as soon as I got my glider,
exploring a lot.
I've literally just been exploring, and so like I haven't even done the main game yet. I just got
my the dungeons.
No, not a single one.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just like, I'll go here, and then I'll get sidetracked. Go there. I just got the final ability for the arm. I don't want to spoil it.
No, don't spoil it because I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just getting started. It's fucking. It's honestly life changing.
Just getting started. You unlock the whole map. I'm loving it. I maybe like I probably got maybe like 10 hours into it so far, maybe 15 hours, but I got it like all the way to the end of a dungeon, and then I can't beat the boss because I'm way too weak. I think this is one that you're supposed to get further in, so I dipped out of there. But you can always like transport back and go and fight the boss. So I'm in some other dungeon now on the other side of the map, but it has exceeded my expectations. I mean, I knew I would like it, but I think I forgot how much Breath of the Wild grabbed me. So this one grabbed me just as much, and more so because of all the amazing new mechanics in it. And it's such a fantastic game.
And I'll just say this might be a hot take, but I think it's better than Elden Ring, just in terms of how big the map is. You can't, like, you can set like an objective, but you're going to get sidetracked and then sidetracked 10 more times. There's just so much to do. It's overwhelming, but it's so much fun.
For me, it's like a friendlier Elden Ring, because Elden Ring like kicks your ass. This game
For
can kick your
sure.
ass too, but it's because of its presentation. It doesn't feel as daunting as Elden Ring did to me.
Mhm.
But
That's
yeah,
fair.
it's so damn good.
Mhm.
Only
Lee
40
is really
subs.
on this shit.
By the way, only 40 subs away from 30,000. Let's do this
Oh, come
tonight on this
on.
stream. Let's do this. Come on.
Lee, I'm coping
YouTube.com/Matt
hard.
Binder.
I'm coping hard, Lee.
You go- what if this whole thing is like one person just commenting under different names? Like, talk about Blair, talk about Blair. Talk
Well,
about Blair.
I think that's the same person.
This is AOC's alt,
It
isn't it?
is.
Look,
This is the same person.
Yeah.
Hilarious. This is for you, Binder.
Let's see. Robbie Barclay with a super chat. Commission Tim Pool takedown from Zayed. Half joke. Like a full rap? Well, he fit Tim
yeah,
Pool
that'd
in
be
that
cool.
one.
Oh.
He fit Tim Pool in that one.
Definitely. Tim Pool's a good target for anybody. Oh my god. Okay.
Lee.
Some people just like live for drama. That's like all they come here just for drama. Forget about
You
the
know, I
issue.
gotta say, if they would have kept sending us money for not answering it, maybe we
came
should've
back.
have.
You know what, Lee? We need to talk. Olay's back. Hey.
Yes, hi.
Hey, we got one for you. Here.
Yeah, there's a super chat literally for you.
I know. I see my name
There you go.
deeply. Yeah, I
Your
see
silence
that.
on
And
Blair
I'm
is
like,
suspicious, Olay.
and I don't understand why. I was like, I'm not sure where I shined a bat signal in the sky and said, should a white woman I be loosely associated with be in trouble? I must make a public service announcement. Unclear to me why. Listen, let me just be as clear and transparent as humanly possible. First of all, I've met Blair on this show. I've tried to make it very clear to everybody. I met everybody on the show. Cool. I exist in an entirely different internet plane from everybody on this show. I don't know who y'all are talking about every week.
You didn't know who Ben Shapiro was and stuff.
Like, no, you do recall in the first episode, I asked Blair who the triangle even is. That being said, listen, I don't know, and this is just, listen, I'm gonna be as fair and as transparent as humanly possible. I don't know those people involved. I don't know. I don't know any of those people. I don't know any of them. I have no, I'm a lawyer with a million different jobs. I do a lot of different important stuff. You're not going to convince me that I need to run down a trail of drama that's happening. Nope, I won't. I shan't be convinced. But I've seen Blair's video. I'm aware that there is a lot of drama and controversy. I have talked to Blair. My understanding is, listen, we can't speak on Blair's situation. We can't, even like however Blair chooses to pursue that. I know that there are a lot of different moving parts and there are a lot of information that isn't aware that are known to the public or whatever about the situation, but I don't know. And I can't say, and I've always said this as a defense attorney, I don't know shit. Even when I'm representing people, I don't know. The judge don't know. The prosecutor doesn't know. No one fucking knows. I wasn't there. I don't know anybody. I cannot speak. And I do not want to be in the position where I start and I jump down just because it feels convenient, because the internet is now, if the whole tides are against Blair or whatever, I now just jump in because it feels easiest for me to be like, fuck Blair, yeah, fuck, I'm good, right? I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. I don't have that relationship with Blair. Blair has never done anything to me or whatever. From my understanding, I know a lot of things. Like I don't know. I don't know. I know Blair is pursuing it, no one, right? I know she has her own story. I know there's parts that, and I've said this to her, and I've said this before, I think Blair is at a disadvantage by being a triangle. And I literally mean that, all jokes aside. Like, I really think because people, they don't know her, she's just a triangle they're connected to online. They like her and they like her content. But if once, the kind of unmasking, it feels like all these people who say they know her, they say they know her and they're all saying this bad stuff, then it feels like, oh, well, this is what they know about her is true. And anything she presents about herself or any response now just seems like it's being told, to defend herself. I feel like she's in a rough place. I don't know. I can't speak to any of that. I don't want to be a part of, I don't want to start a tribe because I'm a firm believer if they come for you in the morning, they'll come for me at night. Like, I do not want to start a thing where when the internet tides are against you and they have the pitchforks, we start that. Because if we start that PSAing, or I do not want to set the tone that we are obligated to make public service announcements and jump on tribes against anybody that's on the thing, because that's a fucked up place to be in. Who needs that? Where in saying I have made it clear I'm high as fuck and this show every single week, that is obviously the position of somebody who would like to be unserious. I have never said that I want to consider myself a member of parliament or I have to speak up on any controversies that are part of things. Also, I'm a defense attorney, y'all, not a prosecutor. Stop putting these obligations on me. I do not believe in it. I don't do this in real life, let alone online. So keep me out of it. That's my position. If Blair is wrong for something, Blair will speak up for her own fucking self. Y'all will find that out. Blair will have her own situation. We cannot be held responsible for Blair's thing. I know everybody is doing their best. Lance has tried to be like he's being a friend, he's being a co-host. We're all doing our best to deal with it without being a fucked up person to somebody we do a show with. It's not that we don't hear y'all. It's not that we don't know y'all are upset and all these different things, but who the fuck knows how it goes? Because it's so easily. There have been many times in life where everybody jumps on the tides of something. There are a bunch of men jumping down on a woman with a big platform, and then if it should it turn out, should the tides turn, we learn a bunch of other stuff, and it end up being where she's not the bad guy, then we look like the fucked up ass people that all jumped to fucking kick her in the neck. So I don't know, but I don't know the allegations. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not a person. I'm not gonna die on nobody's hill. Don't fucking know. I wasn't there. I don't know these people. All I know is I do a show with Blair. She's nice to me. I've been nice to her. Everybody keep my name out your mouth and let me do my nice little content. Please be nice to Lance. Get off Lance's ass. He's trying to be a good friend and be a good person. And I want to remind you, while y'all are blowing down on Lance being a dickhead this week, Lance was the person that convened this wonderful assembly of people y'all enjoy talking to every Thursday. So put some fucking respect on Lance the Surf's name, God damn it.
Why is Lance getting
I've been giving my man's grief because they jumped in because when this first happened, Lance, tried to be, Lance is a sweetheart, tried to be a good friend, and he streamed Blair's first video that put out.
Oh, okay.
Now people think there's an implied contract that he must cover every hit piece on who he knows, or else he is morally bankrupt. Please. Because y'all wouldn't respect it if Lance were the type of person that was friends with this woman, and the minute four other white men jumped on her, he jumped on her fucking back. Y'all wouldn't find that good too, especially if there's other information behind the scenes that we might know that might make us seem like dickheads too. We have a lot of different things that we're competing with, so stop putting these obligations on people. Y'all have enough people. There are literally millions between all the hit pieces on Blair. There are millions of views. That means y'all have a whole lot of people y'all could talk shit about Blair with. Why do y'all need us to join you? There's a lot of shit to talk about. Do we need to be that kind of podcast? Follow those people who are talking shit. They're committed.
Yeah, be nice to Lance.
Thank you.
God, this is and it's people like this is again like I'm gonna restate what I said. This is so complex. Like you can't, it's not like hey, look at this tweet from Blair and I can't just make a judgment on that. This is like so deep.
Yeah, and this isn't about like what she presents, right? Like that's always my concern is like, what are you putting out into the world? Like what's happened behind the scenes is very hard for us to properly judge because we aren't there. Like this is personal issues that's happening there. So it's tougher than like someone putting out some garbage online to spread. Like that's a different thing.
Yeah it's hard to like, there's a lot of moving pieces, so like I'm trying to be fair and objective, but I need time to like learn about these people and educate myself, because there's a lot of people involved. There's feelings that are hurt, and I don't want to like just jump in for the sake of jumping in and end up like making more problems, causing more pain, because like we're talking about like mental health issues, suicidality, like these are very serious things, and I don't think that I should jump in with an ignorant, hasty opinion. So like I don't want to talk if I'm not fully informed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did not realize, like when Ole just mentioned if you want to get your fill here, there's a bunch of videos. I thought this was like literally 3 videos that were weeks old. I did not realize.
Oh, no,
this
I didn't know
it was this big. Yeah,
300,000 views on a video uploaded just yesterday called "Illuminati Exposed." What the hell? Like, are you kidding me?
There's like countless videos now.
They're on her ass like white on rice, okay? When I say to you, they're on Blair's motherfucking ass. They're on her ass.
Holy shit.
They're on her fucking ass.
I do think you're right that because she's a triangle, it's easier. Like it feels like there's no victim, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just like,
That's
it's
what
really
I
easy
honestly
to
think
jump
it
in
is.
on it.
There are certain things, like honestly, I really like, this has really been illuminating to me on like the different things, like the cost benefit and analysis of how you create your brand. Because I've said this before, I've always wondered when we first started the show, what the danger is in that and being hidden behind the thing. And it works conveniently when they like you, but there's a certain level of what it saves you, the distance it allows for you.
Lance came back.
Is Lance here? Lance, did he go? Is he here? Lance.
Reconvene.
First question. how long has the after party been going down for? I feel like now this feels like fucking high school.
We gotta do super chats. That's why we're here.
We do this every week. I feel so
actually, every week we go quick. Lance and Ole left. Let's talk all the shit about Lance and Ole we possibly can.
No, it's actually.
Can you believe there's silence on Blair? Oh my god.
Each other, like, we're watching Lance is like, did you know there was an after party? I'm like, yeah. Lance is like, what the fuck?
I do this.
David, can you play the intro? Let's go another 2 hours. Let's do
Oh
this.
my god. Kill me now.
All right. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Jackass.
I forgot I could do that.
I was like, oh, I gotta go in. I was like, if they making statements, damn, I gotta make a fucking statement.
God damn, we're holding a whole ass fucking press conference after the show. God damn, I'm tired.
I saw the thumbnail. I was like, please.
Oh my god.
I just want to say, I reiterate most of the points that everyone said. Sorry.
Yeah, say your piece, Lance, because you're getting attacked. This makes me sad.
You're getting thrown out. I agree with almost everything that everyone has said already. The exact same thing. I've obviously been in this awkward position where, yes, I've spoken to Blair in behind the scenes, in between these dramas, and it's not my drama. Just like Mike was saying, I didn't know half of these names when it first started coming out, and so if someone else is like, yeah, I'm going to release a statement, or this is what I'm going to say about it, it's not my place to comment on, right? In between it's like, it's been an incredibly shitty position to be in, because like something will happen, Blair will be like, yeah, I'm going to make a statement, Blair makes a statement, and then more videos come out right afterwards, and then everyone's like, oh, Lance, how can you stand behind the response videos now after the response? But I think it's the same thing as everyone else has been saying on the Leftist Mafia so far. Once the full story has been told and everything comes out, if it turns out that Blair has been abusive to people, like obviously people on this panel are going to call it out, of course, like absolutely.
The lawyer in me just is always concerned about precedent, right? And like what we put out there, right? Because like when it was like, oh, we owe it to our fans to be, I was like, oh, don't put that fucking in writing. Like I was texting Lance, like, Jesus Christ, because I just like wonder, like, listen, I feel like I don't know why that's implicitly the understanding in like our internet town squares, and I want to push back on that because I don't know where, like, in starting a podcast to me or being on a podcast, that means I'm now obligated to like do some extra layer of condemnation publicly in some way. Let me be clear. I'm a person, I don't mince words. Y'all know me. Like everything I gotta say, I push back. Lance knows I will send him a whole 5-minute audio note telling him why I fundamentally disagree, why I think this, why I think that. I could do whatever. Like I've talked.
I get the small ones apparently.
Yeah.
Land is getting like 15-minute voice messages from you.
No, dead ass. And I'm like, there are ways, you can speak about things and address things. I'm all about like accountability and how you help people if they're called up. But honestly, she's being fucking jumped on and being curb stomped by the entire fucking internet. What more does she like? I don't see what I need to make any publicly disparaging comments about her or make any denouncement. What does that do? Where did you get the impression? And what in making a YouTube talking shit did where in being a joke leftist mafia did we come up with some obligation to like jump into and wade into like these larger discourses that are happening? Blair is having dynamics that I can't even relate to. These people have salaries. Blair's a corporation. Blair's a business. I didn't even know about this. I don't fucking know nothing about this money. None of my shit is even monetized. I can't even. Who am I to make any statements or to be a part of any of this stuff? And I think that is a dangerous game to get into. I think that's what makes things such a headache on our side of the aisle, right? Is like we can't. Like the whole point of wanting to do the show and make a comfortable world is where we could talk and we could have these different like quadrants of the internet come in, not for us to then act as some other quasi council where we jump into what each other's internet town square is mad about and we say, hey, light up the fucking pitchforks, we're not real if we don't fucking kill us, bitch.
Ole. I saw that photo of you canoodling with Hassan at the big YouTube celebrity boxing matches. Don't play it off like you're some little YouTuber. You got some secret shit going on we don't know about. Hell, I never see what Blair looks like. For all I know, you're fucking Illuminati.
Your channel's called Illuminati.
And people jump on me even for that Hassan picture. I'm like, bro, there's a distance between us.
Did they really though?
Yes, they fucking did.
Oh my God.
Yes, they did. I was like, my nigga, I didn't even talk to him like that for real. I hailed and I went home. I went back to my room to catch Love Is Blind. I'm not even bothering nobody. I was like, where? I was like, how? They were like, oh, I'm so disappointed in you. Every time you show up on my timeline is a red flag. I was like, how the fuck does me being even adjacent near this person come to like, where did I make some endorsement that I espouse and agree with everything they must have done to piss you off? I'm like, I don't even know these niggas. I don't know what they be doing on the internet to make you mad. I wasn't there.
Oh, you took a picture with Hassan? Well, did you know about this and this and that he said this?
I'm like, oh my God. Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
I'm not a creator. I don't even know none of these.
It's exhausting. It really is. And can we just address the people in the chat who are roasting me because they say that I look like a medical services worker with this shirt? Okay, I won't wear it again. All right.
I would never have thought that. That looks nice to me.
It actually is pretty accurate. I do look like a medical services worker.
What does a medical service worker look like? What?
You know, like somebody that works at like Zoom Care.
Thing. I don't know.
People are roasting you. Internet, stop being internet. What are you doing?
They're actually, it's kind of on point. But like, okay, I see it. Okay, I'm a medical services worker.
I don't see it. It's just
not a bad thing.
Here's the next super chat. I miss Blair. I hope she returns in spite of the
duality of the internet.
She really completed this group.
If they
duality of man.
were Cosmere Dragon, they would take a fucking heated javelin and send it to your house.
Get instead of us.
This is for Bender. Love the vibes of your chat, Matt.
Yep, thank you, Jordan. I mean, everyone knows I got the best chat in the business. Everybody knows that the Bender YouTube live stream chat is the chat to be in.
I don't know about that.
I agree.
That's my favorite.
I agree.
80s Star Trek shirt, Mike.
I think Mike's chat is the underdog here. I think he has the best chat.
My chat is very nice. Like they're wonderful. They're wonderful. At least to me.
Though are gems.
They are very sweet.
Very wholesome. They're very wholesome, so I can see that reflected in your chatters as well.
Tony, you think Cena will come back from the bottom after shooting themselves in the foot from the town hall debacle? CNN's all cable news is going downhill. And with Chris looked up at the top at CNN, it sounds like he enjoyed the town hall. So I don't expect things to get any better at CNN. So definitely not. This is for Bender.
It's Renee. You call Marjorie Taylor Greene He-Man. Just call Marjorie Taylor Greene He-Man having fall off. I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, but sounds
it's funny, but I don't get it. It just conjured an image of her in my mind of like her in a He-Man like uniform.
This is also yours, Bender.
All right, narrator with a $12.34 super chat. I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
Incompetence is populist branding of white supremacy. I almost read that as YouTube supremacy. Never bring up the incompetence and talk about it because it does nothing except to say it's not as dangerous as it is. This is probably in relation to the Marjorie Taylor Greene discussion we're having. Yes.
Doc says 3 things. Any idea when Blair is returning? I haven't heard you guys mention. We talked about it. I know of her issues. Thanks for Jesse last week. You need to watch Steve Shiv's parody video about how to shower.
You know how I know
Skip to 7:30.
Deep down in y'all's soul, and I know our audience, and I love y'all. I love y'all audience. I love you all so deeply, and y'all know deep in y'all souls that y'all are a little self-righteous and y'all love drama. You know how I know? Because Blair barely fucking talks on this show. If you did in the last 20 something episodes, Blair's talk collectively 10 minutes.
The internet.
Yeah, suddenly you're acting like
the internet. Yeah.
Like, Jesus, I have not heard. My week is serving. Like y'all are so full of shit. Y'all are full
Someone
of
should
shit.
Someone should create.
Blair, y'all didn't ask. Blair missed this show. First of all, Blair was gone for like mad episodes.
Probably like half the episodes she's been gone.
Right? Yeah. Y'all barely had no Blair. Now y'all over here like, oh my back. Make a statement. Make a statement. Ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Well, I saw one comment that was like, sorry, go ahead, Matt.
I would say someone should get the data from all the episodes and create a bar graph of how long each of us has spoken on the show. Without a doubt,
I think y'all
Blair's in the bottom, the very bottom. I'm gonna guess that it's
for
me
sure.
and Ole fighting for number one up top.
Way bigger.
I talk less
I
than
will
a lot of you.
school the numbers.
I talk a lot less in time than a lot of you. Most of y'all segments, I be sitting there quietly. I don't know what to say. A bit adds the razzle dazzle. That's all it is. Like, I'm telling you the numbers though. That motherfucker Bender got a monologue on him.
I was gonna say you win the monologue awards. Yeah. Soliloquies. You were the soliloquy master. You just
And
get
Me?
Your
Well,
mic
you know,
again, Matt.
I fixed it. It should be
Okay.
fixed now. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I'm the Shakespeare of the group, I guess. I'm the to be or not to be.
I feel like we all have our moments where there's bursts of us talking, and then we kind of like fade into the background. Like I kind of feel like we all do that to an extent.
Hey David, start off by saying I love you guys and everything y'all do. I was wondering if you'd be interested in streaming to another platform in addition to what you have so far. Part 1. The answer is no. I'll see part 2 at some point. I don't see it yet. Oh, here's no. Yeah, no, this isn't it.
Somebody said
This one's for Bender.
Narrator with a super chat. It lends to the myth that only the dumb and the poor are actually racist. Is this also in relation to Marjorie Taylor Greene? I think so. Yeah, it's rough because we read these super chats after a 2-hour show. Always try to add everybody who leaves super chats for any of us. Always try to add just a little bit of context about what you're talking about, knowing that by the time we get to the super chat,
they charge.
we have no
they
idea.
charge by the word. That's why they don't. That's
they
why a lot of the
really?
super chats. Yeah. So if you go over a certain amount of words, you have to pay more. Yeah.
I never knew that.
That's why a lot of super chats are short.
So all right,
if
so
you notice
listen.
the longer ones are more.
I never realized that. All right, so listen, if you want me to be able to fully respond to your super chats, I need essay format. I need long form content.
MLA.
$100 worth at least.
Double spaced.
The captain with the very generous super chat here. Then it's part 2. All right, maybe
Oh
I will
my God.
stream. Jesus, it is made by fellow Canadian Linus from Linus Tech Tips. Oh, really? And the platform is called Float Plane. It is kind of like a cross between Patreon and Twitch, except it has an amazing audio and great video. You know what?
I'm actually interested. I like Linus.
I like Linus. He's a good guy. Let me just search up Float Plane.
His reviews are on point. He's a Canadian also.
Read about this later.
Also, I just realized someone before said check out Steve Shiv's How to Shower video, and then told you to skip to minute 7.5. What are people on YouTube creating where a how to shower video is even 7.5 minutes long to begin with?
I don't know, and I'm probably not going to watch whatever this is. But I do appreciate you, Doc. Thank you. Zaytabani, yo, I thought that name sounded familiar. I listen to Rollback all the time. He's a real one. Much love.
Nice.
Infinite Content says when you add the anti-LGBT stuff with the anti-immigrant stuff, DeSantis is single-handedly wrecking the Florida agriculture, tourism, construction economies.
Yep.
That's a great point.
Nelflow. Most likely the play is to make Florida inhospitable to immigrants and liberal and progressive voters so they move and turn the state red. I mean, the state's already red. This is... You got a super sticker, Bender? That's for you.
Oh, thank you, Archangel. I appreciate that.
I wish we could see the sticker, though.
I know. I wish we could see. Jules T says, here's to the cool mods. Yes, I added 3 mods after some assholes last week. Some racist
shout out to the mods.
jerks.
The mods are just, you're all amazing.
I don't read the chat while this is happening, so I noticed afterwards that there were some terrible people in the chat last week, so that has been dealt with now.
So all the people who be saying I need to stream from my channel, no, it's never gonna happen, and it's because y'all don't know how to act. I want to be clear. I want you to know, look at yourselves.
David, I have a question. How did you pick your mods? I mean, it must have been hard with a chat so horrible and terrible to find 3 people who could.
Oh my God.
I thought you started serious and then you had to end with bullshit. But to answer the serious question, there's some people I recognize that are here every week and they're good people. So
is one of your mods Tyler Hackner too?
I believe so, yes.
I love Tyler.
Yeah, everyone.
If I didn't, then I should have because he's great.
Tyler, he's amazing. He comments on all of our videos. Such a great supporter. Substantive comment. Like he gets upvotes all the way to the top. Like he's crushing it. I love Tyler.
I like Tyler. His birthday was the other day too, right? Happy belated, Tyler.
Oh,
Really?
happy birthday, Tyler!
Happy belated.
He
Happy
tagged
birthday,
us.
Tyler.
Hey, you see, do better, David.
Oh, I didn't see that. I feel really bad. Happy birthday, Tyler.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Tyler.
Oh.
If you're here, who knew?
You should have told me. I would have said it earlier. This is yours, Bender.
Wanda with a super chat. Great show as always. Thank you, Wanda. We all appreciate it.
Snack Panther says Zayda's the best guest so far. Yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah,
he's great.
That, and I was like,
he was awesome.
On behalf of Rebecca Zorn, foreign man, and
I know we've had some great guests though too. So
like, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, every guest has been fantastic.
Yeah.
You what I think was extra interesting about him, that like he's not in our like political circle. Like we usually do have guests who are in leftist politics YouTube.
He left the
and
bubble.
while he shares our politics, it's clear that the content he creates and even the YouTubers he's worked for previously, they are in the broader YouTube sphere, not like the political niche specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
Joe
is for
Fox.
you.
Yeah,
Bender.
you got it right, Joe Fox. You're right.
But it's for us.
Oh,
It's
Wanda,
for you, Bender, but it's for us.
All right, Wanda with a super chat. Are David or Lance affected by the fires in Canada? Didn't even know there were fires in Canada. You guys all right?
I am. Yeah, it's smoky in Vancouver right now. It fucking sucks.
Oh, really?
Isn't it always smoky there?
It used to happen in August. In August, that's when the fire season starts.
Because when I went, I forget when I went to BC, but whenever I went there and I could smell it immediately. Like, actually, we smelled it on the plane down, and I'm like, "Is the plane on fire? Like, what's going on here?" And they had to come. They actually went over the speaker and was like, "This is just the forest fires happening."
It sucks so bad because it used to happen in August. Now it's going to be normalized happening in May, I guess. And usually, us in Seattle battle each other because the California wildfires will like blow all their smoke up here, and then all our fires blow all the way back down to them. So fucking, it sucks. It's brutal.
Just stay inside.
I meant to say that.
Sorry?
I like your shirt. I meant to say that.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm only 20 subs away from 30,000. Come on.
You're ticking up.
YouTube.com/Matt Binder. Let's do this tonight, right now on the air in the next like 5 minutes we got. Let's do it.
I'm at 16.2 thousand subscribers.
That's incredible. Because you just started.
I know.
We're in my second month of business.
You just fucking started. That might be the fastest growth of like any of us. That's insane.
You should be able to monetize soon. If you're not monetized yet, you should be able to.
Yeah.
I've been eligible, but immigration, America keeps me.
Oh, are you serious?
Of course.
So you can't.
Wait, you can't monetize the channel?
No. Yeah, America. You learn something about immigration.
You can't connect to like a different like account. It doesn't have. It has to be an
It
American
got
account.
me by the I'm hoping I'm hoping my green cards that I get it sometime soon when my immigration is this year. Let's hope.
Can we help you with that? Like, I don't know how it works. Can we like write recommendations?
I
Like, this is
honestly
so
have a
fucked.
star-studded lineup of letters right now. Honestly,
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh
so let's hope for the best. But yeah, as far as my channel has been eligible already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're probably eligible after your first video, to be fair, because you got a lot of views.
I was eligible pretty quickly. I told Lance like weeks ago. I'm just showing you. I can't monetize it. I just want somebody to know.
That's so
God. You have the views and subscriber count. I think it's what 2,000 views and like 1,000 subscribers.
4,000 watch time.
4,000 watch time. Right.
Yeah, I have way past that. Yeah.
Radio Friendly Box says Zayd rap intro for Leftist.
That'd be
Mafia.
cool.
That would be so cool. Oh yeah.
This is Binders.
Lovely Pariah with a super chat. Thank you. That is all smiley face. Thank you, Lovely Pariah. That is quite
And by the
lovely.
way, I'm assuming these are all Binders because Mike, you're still demonetized, right?
Yes.
Your channel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they played the shit out of
That's
you.
also fucked. That's also something you got to bring it up.
I lost half of all of my membership so far. I worked for years to build them up.
Half?
Yeah. Half.
I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
Because each
That's
day that I'm not monetized, if a membership is set to renew, it gets auto canceled. So I'm watching the number tick up each day. I thought I had 500. I actually have 300, but I've lost 47% as of today. So we're going on half.
That's fucking crazy.
It's like, dude, it took so long to build those up.
That
but you
is
know what?
really crazy though. Like I thought losing the super chat ability was lame when they demonetized you, but I didn't even consider the subscriptions, which that takes a while to build up.
Damn, that sucks. If it's any consolation, the U.S. government prevents me from monetizing everything, so I just literally just have to donate the money. Like,
I'm sorry, that is so infuriating.
Yeah, you know what sucks about it is that people hate you like you get all the money. You know what I mean? Like when you think about it, right? Like when I was on Rising, it's like, oh, I'm a part of all this. Everybody gets paid handsomely. Theoretically, you think I get paid handsomely for this slander, but I just have to say, no.
It's like when you were a kid and you thought everyone who was in like a movie you were watching in the movie theaters must be a millionaire. Like, the extra who plays the hot dog vendor, dude's a millionaire, no doubt about it. He's in a movie.
We got paid shit. We got paid shit. You know the shitty thing about being an extra in movies, and there's a lot of movies you can see me in the background of, is that if you're not in the union, you don't get the catered dinners or anything. So you get these fucking shitty ass bag lunches. It was the fucking worst. Yeah.
Yep. I did extra stuff too. I remember. Yep.
This one is for Bender, but it's about Canada.
Kowalski with a super chat. Why is Canada attacking the Great Plains with smog? Kowalski's our farmer in Nebraska.
I don't understand.
Can I just say, like, I feel like you all like. The after show should be with everyone, even if you don't have super chats, because it's like a good, like, this is just a more chill time where the show's over and we can kind of like let our hair down.
Yeah.
I do appreciate though when it's like 20 minutes long and I can go to bed, but that's
David's like, shut the fuck up.
The funny thing is that
this is like an extra hour.
Whoa, where did
Lance just dropped out?
He'll come back, I'm sure.
I like how Mike was just talking about how we should do this, all five of us, all the time.
Right.
And
like Mike talks.
Like later.
Andrew with a super chat. Great show with Zaid. Matt, do you think he and DJ Danarchy could do a collab? DJ Danarchy is the guy who does all the music for the Majority Report and Sam Cedar. Yeah, that would be cool if they did, without a doubt. I don't know if they would. Reach out to them and ask them. That's how you get that happening.
This one is clearly for me, but this is for you, Bender.
Is it? Oh, I love it. Meow Nyan with a $14 super chat. I love it. Howard Trudeau's odds against, I don't even know how to say his name, Polyev. If they pull another election. I want the NDP to make significant gains, but the NDP and the Liberals aren't looking as good as they did 5 years ago. Thanks. Well, let me break this down for you, Meow. Let me just... I got no idea about this, honestly. Go ahead.
I guess to quickly answer, since I didn't get any of this cash. So, look, Polyev, I think, has, I'm never going to underestimate anyone on the right because we've seen what can happen in the U.S. at least. That said, he's not all that popular. And when people see him, he appears to be less popular. He's a very unlikable person on top of being a fascist. So I hope he doesn't win. Today he introduced...
it's this guy. I know him by how he looks. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
he's terrible.
Mega lame loser looking guy. Yep.
Today he introduced a policy which is not going to get passed because they don't have a majority, but a policy to remove safe injection sites, which have been proven to be successful and work, and we have them all over Canada, and he wants to get rid of them. And that's kind of gives you the idea of how far right this clown is, but that's that.
Somebody said you should. Somebody said you should all work more for free in solidarity with Ole. Do not do that broke ass shit.
Yeah, you guys can all do that shit. I'm not.
David said, "Let me be clear. I wouldn't even fucking consider it."
I got a toddler to take care of. It's not possible.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, no. But trust me, when I get my green card, I'm gonna be a rich bitch. These 3 days are over, motherfuckers, and no one's saying nothing to me. I've been doing everything for the free for years now.
You have to make it up. Everything you missed out.
I do it all for free. Every fucking speaking engagement,
that's
every
wild.
fucking article, everything. I do it out of the goodness of sharing information. So that's why I'd be so irritated when people talk so crazy to me. I'm like, there's a lot of people who get okay with the hate, like because they get paid off of it. I don't. But you're just pissing me the fuck off. I'm over here like, are you? What?
You're putting up with the bullshit for free.
That's why I had to jump back on this call when that person said that $2 to come from me. I'm like, excuse me.
This is for you. This is for you, Ben.
Well, they sent $2 for you and one for me. It's like, why does Ole get targeted more? And neither of us get the money for that.
I assume this is a joke because this can't be real.
Okay,
Binder's-
narrator with a super chat. I don't know who Blair is, but you all should apologize for knowing her or do an independent investigation and hold an extrajudicial trial for her. Anything less means you are not real leftists.
We're on it.
I believe
Yeah,
it's
right.
a joke, but just in case, we will be calling together the.
Honestly, I thought about it. At some point in time during the episode, I was like, I wonder if we just revive the cancel segment and just fucking cancel it. They'd leave us alone. I was like, oh my god, if we just formally, would that get you off our back? Like,
Probably.
Well, and we fucked up because we have to, like, this is at the end of the show. So now next week at the start, they're going to be like, are they going to address it finally? Do you think they're going to talk about it? So everyone who sees that, tell them we did. Like,
right, go to the after show. We said it and don't bother me about it no more. Out here trying to turn me into a. I'm like, I hate when, like, I don't know why the internet is always assigning me a prosecutor's mantle. Like anytime they'd be like, oh, I'm disappointed. I'm like, why? Do you get what I do in real life? Just think about it. Why? Like, why are you disappointed in me? I'm a defense attorney. Leave me alone. I've never been like, where did y'all get this? Why me? And then you get the impression that mum's the word. That's my whole thing.
well, I saw a comment that actually hurt my feelings. If I'm being honest, it was like, you all pretend like you're so real and you'll address everything, but you refuse to address the Blair thing. It's like, motherfucker, we're trying to learn. Like, I don't know, we don't know.
Like, no, what I don't like is I hate when they act like we initiated this show with a blunt oath. But we were like, Harry, we the real left will hold all bodies accountable. I was like, I never said that shit. I have like a big problem with when people just start like working off of a premise I never agreed to. I never fucking said that I will hold everybody to task. I literally say all the time, every episode, anybody who's been watching the show from the beginning, there are mad episodes with me going on the same diatribe about not wanting to talk about nobody, not wanting to be in it, blah, blah. I don't even be knowing who people are. The first time I've ever been in drama was because I'm on this show missing responding to what our general fucking topic are. I would never fucking be talking about this stuff. Look at my individual content. So I'm just like, how did you get the impression that I, Olayemi, agreed to be somebody holding people up in the town square, charging them? I never agreed to that. I don't want to be a part of it. Get me the fuck up out of it. I'm not doing that fucking research. If you think I'm sitting there watching these people's fucking videos talking about, I've never seen Blair in the flesh. The devil is a lie. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting this triangle on trial. Leave me alone. Like,
we just should have done background checks on each other and like social media, like hired private investigators before officially launching the podcast, I think.
Oh, I really truly feel like we should be able to be like, let me be Switzerland. And that's the whole point of Mafia is they got to work with all kind of mob groups, all kind of gangs to get business done. Ain't that's an understanding of peace treaty? I literally text Lance. I was like, hey, you should talk to everybody in the group because this is some white people shit in the sense that my family, I was like, if you think of the Mafia like individual houses, mine is unaffected. My audience does not know this exists. No one knows who the pyramid is on my side of the internet. I don't want to be in it.
That's because you don't stream this shit. If you streamed it, oh my god,
and
comments
that's exactly
just
why the fuck I don't.
Mm-hmm.
On God. I've never been more confident in that decision than this week. I was like, never. I was like, nothing to gain. Like, I'm like, I just want to come through, talk to people, but I don't want that to be like I've signed on now to all like, oh, I'm a co-defendant in y'all's lawsuits. Like, hold on, wait. I don't want to be in it. I need to fit.
All right, there's a lot of chats left. I'm probably gonna have to go before you finish them all because I gotta.
I can stay on, David, and the broadcast.
Yeah, I'll address these maybe next week. We'd have to end early if that's the case, though. So I don't know. Sorry, wait. Let me see how many are left for me because there's actually a lot for Binder here. If I can get all of mine.
There's a lot for me because I'm.
Yeah, there's a lot for you. All right, here we go. Let me just quickly grab mine. I love you all. Thanks for the laughs and info. Love you, Olay. That's my audience, by the way. See?
Oh.
Thank you, Bill.
This is from Snack Panther. Get Binder a new mic fun. Binder's mic works fine. I think it's a software glitch.
I think it's a connection issue. Yeah, something's going on with it. Yeah.
No, it is giving struggle, Binder. It is giving. It is giving hard times.
Monk says, "Wife and I love you guys, celebrating our 20th anniversary by toking and watching y'all. Much love. That's having a good time."
That's
Congratulations.
Cyber Hobbit says, "Love this crew." Wow, very generous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so sweet. I love to see the love because there's a lot of shit like that we see all the time. It's really nice. Thank you all for the nice comments.
I got 30,000. I got 30,000 subscribers.
Hey,
there you go.
There we go.
Yay, Bender! Congratulations.
Nice. If I have the applause here.
That's really dope.
No, that's not the one. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting, but I thought it was worthy of.
No, that's awesome.
Forest Ring says, "Just sending love and virtual cash to you all. Keep it up. Thank you." I keep losing my place. Doc says, Shives is a friend of Jesse. Shives,
the guy with the
Jesse Gender. It is a parody video.
Okay.
At that point, shower is done. He pulls gun hidden by toilet and proceeds to verify no intruders in house.
Holy shit! Now I'm even more.
I think I'll have to see it to understand, but that's
yeah. It's like it clarified, but I'm more confused.
Here's the last one for me. Matt says, "Wait, did I miss my chance to say something racist?" Terrible joke. All right, thank you, Matt. Matt Claremont. And now you take over.
Goodbye, David. And David's audience, stick around because
I'm trying to see where I left off.
You have to actually, because David can't shut it off.
Here
we go, Mr.
Let me see.
I left off at this one. That one's for Binder. So
just
I'll try to find where you are. Okay, I'm right there as well. Okay,
and I'll have my back end up too. So if you go to a tweet,
take care,
if you go
David.
to a chat that's not mine, I'll say, "Take care, David." I'll have my I'm open on my end. So if you go to one that's not mine,
3 of us on one screen. This was what it looks like, huh? Interesting.
Yeah,
here we go.
So is Lance not going to come back? I'm worried now.
No, he's good. He texted me and he was like, "I'm good."
Okay.
Mr. Hoosteen with a $10 super chat. How do you cope or go about dealing with the amount of LGBTQ plus hatred, anti-trans violence going on right now? Saying this as someone who has zero clue on how to organize or feel anything but furious. I mean, yeah, it's rough. I mean, Mike, do you have anything you want to say? You know, how you feel and what you think the best thing to do? I mean, I think, you know, as basically what we do, the best thing we can do is continue covering these stories and amplifying the LGBTQ voices who have lots of things to say about how this is affecting them, so people can understand exactly the real world, the real life effects of what these policies are doing to people.
Yeah, I'll just say also, you need to keep yourself informed, but give yourself mental space where you're not just like constantly consuming the shit, because it will eat away at you and cause depression. Like for me, especially if there's a week where there's like a shit ton of anti-trans or anti-gay stories, like I make sure I avoid the news at all costs over the weekend. So like give yourself a little bit of space to like breathe, because if you consume it nonstop, it's going to crush your soul. So just like understand how much is too much and then check out for a little bit.
Narrator with a super chat. So Blair witch trials. Okay, it's pretty good.
That's actually
Oh, I get it.
That's actually that's pretty good. Okay.
0PE the super chat. Can y'all talk about the Feinstein Pelosi BS? Oh yeah. Because you paid, I feel like we will. Yeah. So really quickly, it's fucking ridiculous. Apparently, Dianne Feinstein has a Nancy Pelosi's oldest daughter, following her around, basically managing her right now, because the thought process is, apparently, according to this Politico article, the Pelosi's want Feinstein to stick around, because the thinking is, if she sticks around, Adam Schiff, who's running for her seat, has a better chance of winning. Whereas if Feinstein resigns before her term is up, Gavin Newsom might appoint Barbara Lee, who's also running for Senate. And if Barbara Lee is the sitting senator by the time the elections roll around as the incumbent, it'll be much harder for Adam Schiff to beat her. That is the thinking.
So they have
it's ridiculous.
Struggling. So they haven't really going through it. That's fucked up.
So the Pelosi's want, and there's also an added thing where I think one of the Pelosi daughters are looking at Adam Schiff's seat. So basically, if Adam Schiff wins and becomes senator, then they would go. They would run for his seat. It's a whole big, it is totally BS. There's probably a lot more to say about it, but we'll talk about it more as more stuff comes out and when we got more time. All right, what's next?
All right.
Kowalski with a super chat. In the Middle Ages, people were named Lance a lot. That's true. They were named Lance a lot. Yeah, it's very funny, Kowalski.
By the way, real quick, is Lance okay though, Ole?
Yeah, he is. He's good now.
Okay, send him love.
Yeah.
I feel I didn't know he was getting attacked. That makes me feel bad because I'm not aware of that too.
Oh, I didn't know he was getting attacked either.
Yeah.
Attacking him. Yeah, I don't like when people come for Lance. Lance is such a sweetheart.
He's wholesome as fuck.
Yeah, I feel like people really take advantage, and in this internet stuff, it can be like, I feel like people get a bloodlust, and once they get going and they feel like they can get an excuse to jump on other people, it's like, yes, let's get it. I'm like, you know, these are real people. Like my guy, hey, people have feelings. Like, relax.
I think they think that we're never going to see the comments, but we see them sometimes, and
they know they go out of their way to make sure you see it, because they will like hunt you if you're not responding to you. Or one thing, they will run to another app to make sure someone say it twice. I'm like, what's going on with you that you need me to see your negativity? You will be damned. I missed the venom you had for me in this message.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, Jesus. Would y'all really fuck with us if we were the kind of people that you talk to somebody every weekend, soon as somebody like, oh, fuck them. Right. Immediate off a jazz. But it's like deep in my soul, though. I just want y'all to know. Hey, the guillotine is never far away.
Narrator with a super chat, $10 super chat. If you want your favorite media leftist to expend more energy learning about and attacking Blair, that tells me all I need to know about your quote unquote politics. Very well put. Keep going, Mike. C Magic with a super chat. I love you all. Thank you for the laughs and info. I love you, Ole.
Thank you.
Who's got the best chat again, Ole? Who's got the best chat?
Yes.
Who?
This is why you should stick around for the after show.
I do love the love. Someone last week was in the comments like very upset. I saw like a bunch of comments and people were like, oh my God, the show, Ole's not talking as much. The show's not the same with that. I was like, yeah, you appreciate me now, don't you? I was like, oh, you appreciate me now.
Buckets with a $10 super chat. Curse you guys for live streaming on my D&D night. I'm sorry.
Curse you for playing D&D on our live stream night.
Yeah. All right, next. Oh wait, I think this is
okay, we're going. Okay, tell me if you saw this one yet.
Nope, this one's for me. Adrian with a super chat. Great show. I discovered you guys through Mike's channel, and I'm really enjoying the content so far. Awesome, thank you.
Nice. You're welcome, everyone. I don't know if you saw this one.
Wanda, nope, this is
Ole.
Wanda with a super chat. Ole keeps it real. Much love.
Thank you, Bew. Thank you.
Okay. Tell me if this is redundant.
No, that's new. We only got a few left. Narrator with a $20 super chat. Dear Matt Binder, this is in response to you not knowing what my previous super chat was about. You were correct. It was about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Left is best. Love what you do. Sincerely, Narrator. He made it extra long, and this was clearly in response to my asking for essay super chats. Thank you, Narrator.
Narrator is making it rain on Matt tonight.
Yeah, I know. This is not for me.
Okay, very sweet though. I'm just going down the line, so tell me if you already saw it.
Not for me either.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure David already read all this too.
Yeah, we saw this one. This is new, I believe.
This is for me. Yep. Turbo Sun Oyanuga. Thoughts on the Vice bankruptcy filing, plus F all the drama shit, rabbit hole after rabbit hole of IRL YouTube drama. Yeah, the Vice bankruptcy filing is just what you get when you take something that's going good and add pure, unfiltered capitalism to it, where they needed to continuously provide more value for the shareholders and get themselves into deeper and deeper holes because they would have to take new funding, expand and outside of the things Vice was already doing very successfully. We've seen this time and time again where media companies everything's going good, they're being profitable, and they try to overextend what they can do and try to provide, they go public, try to provide more value for the shareholders, and they end up fucking themselves over. It's happened with BuzzFeed, it's happened with Vice, you name it. If a media company has failed or filed for bankruptcy, that's usually what has happened. Next.
Okay.
Celeste, the super chat. Sup, did y'all talk about the anti-immigration laws Ron DeSantis just passed? No leftist has covered it except Kyle today. I think we did talk about it earlier. Right? We were talking about DeSantis in Florida with Zaid.
We didn't talk about the anti-immigration laws. There's been a flurry of laws that he signed this week, but no, I didn't talk about it on my show. It's hard to cover everything, but yeah,
I have seen pictures with haven't farmers in Florida been their produce has been going untended to because there's no one for them to hire to tend their farms and stuff, because that's typically very, very hard work for very little pay. And, Americans don't want to do it. American citizens don't go for that type of stuff. We've seen this happen in red states before where they've passed anti-immigrant laws. And basically, it takes the American farmer to feel the pain for them to end up doing something to then reverse the pain they already gave without care to the immigrants. I assume something's going to happen there in Florida. Once enough farmers start complaining, I assume they'll do something about it. But yeah, we'll get more into it for sure. Parker with a super chat. Ole, can you please elaborate on why the U.S. laws say you can't make money off of your YouTube channel?
Because you have a work visa for a specific job and you're not allowed to make any money doing anything else. Any money, income other than that, it would be a violation of the terms of that work visa.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you are able to
get a green card, hopefully
we're gonna.
Oh, listen, when I get,
we're gonna go crazy.
It's really gonna be emancipation for me, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I might hire a marching band. Like, y'all don't understand. I've been shackled by U.S. immigration for 15 long years. I've been here since right when I turned 15. I'm turning 30 in July. The America's had me by the.
Oh my God.
When I can get paid. Listen, bro, y'all have no idea.
You're going to be doing pretty good.
Shit I do out of the goodness of my soul and commitment to the causes. This is crazy. Just free.
Well, you already have a big YouTube audience, so you'll be able to hit the ground running and like activate monetization, and you'll be doing good.
It's lit. Yes.
Yeah. We'll shower you with super chats.
Thank you. Listen, I can't wait. I can't wait, but the thing is, I do the things just because I love it. Like, I love my show. Like, I didn't join YouTube because I want to monetize it. Like, that's great. That's a cool aspect of it. But for me, it's like, I care about the content. Like the show, I really just enjoy making it.
Like, it's a crime that you're not getting paid for the content you do, though, because your shit is fucking good. It's so good.
Thank you. It's really a production. We have fun. It's a
whole show.
It's great. Like, but yeah, no, I fuck with it. I really, really like it. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Turbo Sun again with the super chat. F that arse of a bad turnover. What is? I don't even. Did I miss something? I don't remember.
I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah. All right. Next. Sorry. We'll get to that. Explain to me on one of my streams, and I'll get it. Matt with a super chat. Love you guys. Oh, I think this was for David. Love you guys. Happy Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, wait, it was for me too. Look at that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do see the little.
Cool.
Okay.
Very good.
That's nice of them. Okay, I think this one is for David actually, but I don't know if we addressed this one.
Tiki Dragon 1. I'm curious as to why DeSantis would run for president while the state has a mass immigrant labor strike and crap is damn expensive. Well, because he doesn't care about Florida. He cares about himself. Everything he's been doing to Florida is to bolster his credit in a Republican presidential primary. He does not care about Floridians.
Okay, I think we got this one.
Did we?
No,
we didn't.
This one?
Well, no, we didn't. Yeah. Waleed with a super chat. In the Middle Ages, people were lanced a lot. It's a play on the previous one. It's different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's true. Both are true. There were a lot of Lancelots, and people were also lanced a lot. Yes. Next.
Okay.
Kowalski, Leftist Mafia interested in Kowalski farm shirts? Yes, send them. Kowalski's got his own cool shirts for his farm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's already sent them to the Majority Report crew. Maybe you guys want some cool swag as well.
Hell yeah, I do.
Reach out to each of them via DM on Twitter, and they'll give you their information.
Yeah.
Narrator with a super chat. Matt, did you just imply profit isn't the best motivation for journalism? Shocking, I know. I mean, I don't know. Listen, there's two types of journalists in this world. The people who actually do journalism that end up getting paid like max like 70K, 80K if they're lucky at the higher end of their career. And then there's like the people who work for the New York Times writing dumb puff pieces for 300K a year. There's no in between. It's either the people making like top of the field gets 80K, everyone else makes like around 50K, 40K. And then there's
is that what we said?
What?
You said
journalists do not. Yeah, journalists do not make a lot. New York Times, Washington Post, like they even like their journalists probably don't get paid maybe low six figures. They give their bullshit columnists like Thomas Friedman and those type of guys. They give them like 300K a year or something like that. 400K.
Oh God, yeah, that makes me sick.
Those guys make a ton of money.
That's actually powerful.
I think this is. Oh no, that's not the last one. Okay.
Turbo Sun, much love, Yemi.
Oh, thank you, a Nigerian. I see. Thank you.
Oh, one more just came in too.
Yeah, I see that.
Jeff the Strider with a $10 super chat. Great show. Also love Ole's content. I bought Davis's "Are Prisons Obsolete" and can't wait to read it.
Thank you, View. Thank you. I'm glad. I love that people are watching the show. I really love that. I had very low expectations in launching the channel, and it is doing much better than I anticipated. I was like, oh, if I get 1,000 views, I'd be happy. And I'm like, oh,
you're fucking killing it in 2 months.
I'm like, oh, y'all like it. Good. I spent a lot of energy. My editor has to talk to me a lot.
For a second, I forgot you were talking about your own channel. And when you said I had very low expectations for doing the show, I was like, oh, thanks a lot.
Meanwhile, nobody had lower expectations than you, Bender. You weren't showing up.
All right. In the beginning, I was late. Usually, it took me a while to get, because I usually start my streams at 9 p.m. because my kids start going to bed around 8. So 8:30 is cutting it close. So it took me a while to get in into the new 8:30 scheduling for Thursdays. But I'm there now.
I want to let the record reflect the audiences know little Easter eggs of behind the scenes knowledge. I very much was the person who had to be like 8:30 every Thursday. Y'all said it. It's not a vote. Okay?
No. Do you remember? Okay, actually, so I remember we had a vote on 8 versus 9, and it was split down the middle. So remember, I'm like, why don't we do 8:30 instead? And split the difference. And
they know it still come every week though at the beginning of the week, and they'd be like, "So this week we're doing." I'm like, "You said we're doing it. You watch the show. You can't like put it up for debate every week."
I remember.
Yes, I was like, they're like, "Oh, well, the holidays," and they're like, "Oh my God, all people expect you every Thursday." But
I do remember that
calendar in perpetuity. I was like, okay, I came with y'all with the little ad that showed that it was on Thursday. I got the cartoon done. I was like, I'm gonna make y'all make it real.
It's hard to adjust like the schedule because I've been like in the same rhythm for years with my show, and so like to 5:30 is cutting it so close because it takes me so fucking long to pump out a video these days, and so I try to do 2 a day, and I've just been doing 1 because I'm
2 a day. You make videos a day, but the daily.
But although it's not like as complex as like a video essay from you, like it's more like news straight to the point. There's not as much commentary, but I'm trying to build it so that way it's not just like the news. Like I'm trying to introduce more elements and make it more complex and up the game. And so it's taking longer, but I'm more prouder of the product that I put out there. Like I want it to be amazing, so it's taking longer. But you know, it is what it is. I do YouTube for a living. It's fun.
I like all of y'all's channels. I like your logo, Bender. What does it say? Doomed?
Doomed, yeah. Thank you.
With it. I like it. I like the vibe of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is a good logo.
Yeah, whenever I see you live, I go on. I usually hail. I usually be in the chat. I say, hey. I go and I watch it. I'm like, okay, let's see what he's talking about. I'm like, I'm like, oh, let's see what's going on. I'd be fully involved, fully in the audience. Like,
I'll lurk unless you or Lance reveal yourself, then I'll reveal myself in the chat as well.
I usually say, hey. Sometimes Bender doesn't even see it. His whole audience would be like, oh, hey, I mean, da, 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 da. But Bender will be like talking about something, so he doesn't even, by the time he checks back in, it's already gone.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to follow the chat when you're doing a show by yourself, you know?
It is overwhelming, honestly. Like my Twitch streams for the first like year were so bad, and the audio, like I'd be trying to watch video clips, and the video clips were like really, really, really soft. And then when I talk, I'd like blow their eardrums out when they're listening on like headphones. It's really complex.
That's why I take calls. I feel like, if you really want to talk to me, then call me and we'll do the one-on-one, and I don't have to follow like a always moving chat. It's so much simpler just to call me up and talk.
Yeah. Your mic is doing the Leftist audio thing again. Yeah. I wonder why it's doing that.
About to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Probably because I haven't the mic. Probably. I bet if I just unplug it and plug it back in, it'll get fixed. But I didn't want to fuck with it. Yeah, I didn't want to. Just in case that didn't work, I didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah. I have to finish reading my book and then write my script for my episode that I'm going to film tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah, I think it's been we've given our viewers an extra hour and 20 minutes.
Stop all their disappointment talks. We showed up. Yeah. We answered. We gave you extra. You're welcome.
Have we appeased you yet? Are you happy now?
Good night, y'all. Bye.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
Peace. YouTube.com/Matt Binder. Get me a few more subscribers, so in case a few people unsubscribe, I don't dip below 30K.
And Illuminati, I put out a video today, my abolition explainer by itself. Y'all should watch. Putting out a video next week. Go watch. Go subscribe. My channel's great.
Watch it all. Subscribe to them. Subscribe to me. Send us love, please. We need it.
Bye.
We're tired.